Listen to that air conditioning purr in the background. Oh, yeah. Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, Robert Meyer Burnett. I invite you to watch and listen to the Designing Hollywood podcast, brought to you by Martika Ibarra and the great, legendary Hollywood costume designer, Marilyn Vance. I am afforded the wonderful opportunity of co-hosting the show. If you are interested in the magic of Hollywood, the design of Hollywood, the clothes of Hollywood, watch the Designing Hollywood podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from, or find the video version on the John Campea YouTube channel. That's right, the Designing Hollywood podcast. Why would you ever want to miss it? Especially if you love the movies. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your regent of Westeros, your pharaoh of physical media, and of course, well, call me what you want, Robert Meyer Burnett, and I'm here with Let's Get Physical Media, episode number 161. It's been a big week. There's all kinds of Olympics action happening. There's closing ceremonies today. Did Germany lose another soccer game? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But all I know is that we are here to bring you the week's worth of physical media news, and there's a lot of it. I also got a lot of physical media in the mail. I thought I wasn't going to get anything, and then it was raining. Instead of men, it was raining discs all over me. It was incredible. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. I don't need to flex. I don't need to flex. You know why? Because I got something better. I got something better for you. All the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. You know him. You love him. He's your favorite German. He should have been on the Olympics, but he wasn't. But I've got him right here. Mr. Dieter Bastian.
Rob, the heat is on, but the show must go on. And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane. And welcome to the B&B Motel, where it's sweaty here too. Perhaps not to the degree of Los Angeles, but still hot here too. But we hope we have a good show for you tonight. And Rob, I have a confession to make. I failed you.
Wait,
I failed you. I didn't do my homework.
Wait a minute.
I have not watched Rebel Moon, the director's cut.
Oh, I didn't even. Yeah. Oh, you didn't help. You didn't fail me. You didn't fail me. But yeah, I haven't. Yeah. I haven't delved into that goodness either.
I have the running time and hearing the reviews about it. I thought, I shove it away a little bit more further down the road. I watched other stuff. I will talk about other stuff.
Well,
and Rob, the big question I have for you: is Borderlands the cutthroat island for Lionsgate?
Well, I have to tell you, I won't say who, but one of the costume designers that I've interviewed for Designing Hollywood ended up, Eli Roth was off that movie a long, long time ago.
Okay. And
they talked about how Tim Miller came in and tried to reshoot it and tried to fix it. I mean, it sounds to me like a great cast. And it was I think that we'll be reading books on how this movie failed. I mean, it's interesting because here's a movie where they spent millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, and you wind up with this, and yet we can't see Batgirl.
Exactly, Rob.
They're not.
Exactly. How bad can Batgirl be?
Gennady Tartakovsky's new animated film about a dog looking for its balls or wishing its balls were back. Warner Brothers isn't going to let us see that, but they give us Borderlands. I mean, it's got to be, not since Pluto Nash.
Rob, somebody made a comparison that it reminded him of Pluto Nash, actually.
It's not good for anybody. I look.
No.
What's the word? Your favorite German word? My favorite, Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
Exactly. Schadenfreude. Look, every time a movie like Borderlands comes out and tanks, a lot of people worked on it. Everybody who works on a movie, I can guarantee you, I've been on so many movie sets. Everybody who works on a film wants to believe that the movie they're working on is going to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. So much work. There is no less work that goes into a shitty movie than goes into a great film. Everybody's working their asses off. The crew's working their asses off. And it's amazing to me that somebody doesn't realize that it's not working and mitigates the loss somehow. But, as far as corporations are concerned, you can use this, write it off as a loss leader, but it ruins everybody's career. Kate Blanchett, she could have made a movie about the return of Lydia Tarr. But,
exactly.
I'm waiting for Tar 2, The Revenge. I don't know. Maybe that's what this was. I'd like to choose that Borderlands was a fever dream of Lydia Tarr's brain when she was out there composing music for video games. But you never know.
For video games.
Because that's what it is. It's Lydia Tarr stuck in a video game movie that she doesn't respect. So theoretically, if you want to say that Borderlands is a postmodern sequel to Tar, maybe it works better. I don't know.
Yeah. But considering Borderlands, it's tough, but you have to be on the same page, considering if you're doing a movie.
Yeah.
And making that movie PG-13 is the first mistake. If you have a video game series that is more appealing to adults from the violence that's in those games,
Well, maybe it was kind of the thinking. There has always been a thinking at the corporate level about storytelling that doesn't work. Like, people just think that, hey, if we make a Star Wars show or movie, people will just show up.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars, they don't understand that every IP, every entry into if you make a new movie in a series that has been long, every single film has to win back its audience. Sure, you're going to get fans of the IP to get out of the house and go, but you're going to lose no one faster than fans of that franchise. But if you fuck it up. And they don't understand that, because at the corporate level, nobody gets what the difference between a good Borderlands movie or a bad Borderlands movie is. And the thinking is, it's a video game, so it's for kids, so we can't make it R-rated. Cut to Fallout. The people that made that, Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, made Fallout. They know exactly what they're doing. They had partners that knew exactly what they were doing. And you get a show that's nominated for Emmy Awards. And Walton Goggins is up there for
great
Best Actor award. And it's incredible how the entertainment industry is a very slow to pivot business. I feel like that, if they see an iceberg 10 miles in front of them, and they'll be like, we've got time.
We'll be fine. It will be fine.
We'll turn this ship around. It's fine.
It will be fine.
And it's incredibly frustrating. It's just, you watch this stuff happen, and especially the business. A company like Lionsgate can't afford something like this. I know they have to try and make, they're coming off the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and they're going to make probably another Hunger Games movie. They got John Wick out there, but nobody can absorb this kind of a loss. It's never something that anybody wants to have, and I feel bad about it. It's bad. It's bad. In the meantime,
when you
over at Ryan Reynolds' house, Mommy made half $50 million this weekend, and Daddy
battled against the big juggernaut, actually, in the third week.
Can you imagine how? In that house, two people are responsible for $100 million at the box office just this weekend. Actually, more if you look at the foreign.
Yeah. And Deadpool is over the billion. No.
Yeah, can you imagine the sex those two must have had this weekend? Wow. It'd be like in Diabolic, when Diabolic just spreads all that money over his bed, and he's got beautiful naked Eva on there, and the bed's turning around, and you're hearing this deep, deep down, that song. Oh, man, that's my dream. And Ryan Reynolds can do that every night and add more money every day. It's great. It's great.
And I certainly thought, when Eli Roth got attached to Borderlands, we would get a hard R-rated movie out of Borderlands,
Well, that's the craziest thing. I would imagine that that might have been part of it. Like Eli Roth, I would imagine that there was massive interference that he wanted to.
Totally.
You don't hire the director of Hostel and Hostel 2 to direct Borderlands if you're not going into... what is it? What is the movie he made? The Green Jungle or whatever. the cannibal movie. I mean,
I know what you mean.
If you're not going, I don't remember. If you're not going that direction, it drives me crazy when this stuff happens.
The Green Inferno.
The Green Inferno. That's right. That's what it is. Green Inferno. He was in his own Green Inferno. There were just no cannibals. There were people. There were Hollywood executives.
Yeah. So
you want to know exactly how the box office shook out?
If you have numbers, Rob, for us.
I've got some numbers. I got some numbers. Yeah. Let me. I'm just gonna read down the actual numbers. So Deadpool and Wolverine. This is domestic here, North America. Deadpool and Wolverine made $55.8 million this weekend, which is only down 42% from last weekend, which is a great hold. Its domestic cum here is $495.9 million. That is some big fat money. That's $500 million just domestically. It ends with us, little Blake Lively action, is somewhere between 45 to 49 million. They don't have the exact numbers yet, but that's a lot of money. Look at those people. Those, amazing. Twisters, by the way, big hit. Big hit. Do not count Twisters out. It has made a total. It made 15.4 million. 15.4 million, which is a drop of only 32% from last weekend. That's, by the way, week 4. Glenn Powell is a movie fucking star. And, so it's made $222.7 million. And if you watch my Robservations I did Friday night with Rob Galuzzo, he was talking about how a movie like Twisters in the Heartland is going like gangbusters. It was outgrossing Deadpool and Wolverine. Ooh, okay. Because you make a movie that's meat and potatoes entertainment, and people like it. 222.7 million. Warner Brothers has got to be stoked about that one. Borderlands made a total. They don't know the total totals, but between 8 and 10 million. I mean, 8 and 10 million. At least you could say maybe it made 10 million. I guess maybe it'll do well foreign. Who knows? I don't like it.
It hasn't even come out here.
No, and I don't like it when a movie fails this badly. But I'm going to blame some of the people in this room, and then I do not forgive. Despicable Me has made $330.8 million domestically, and it was only down. Its 3-day was $8.75 million, only down 24%. So Despicable Me 4. And then we got Shamalama Ding Dong, the Sham Hammer.
The Trap.
The Sham Hammer's The Trap in week 2 made $6.7 million for a total of $28.7 million. I don't know if that's a good result. I like seeing, it's nice seeing people come back and that we haven't seen in a while, but hey. Inside Out 2, my God, perhaps the story of the summer so far. It made $5.2 million in week 9, down only 23% from last week. It is at a domestic total of $636.7 million. Boy, is Pixar stoked. Finally, they're out of their horrible place. And it's great to see Pixar back where they belong, on top and in the movie theaters. On top and in the dark.
And, Rob, it has a digital release now on August 20th. And the 4K release is already at the beginning of September. So this is almost like the old model, you could say.
Yeah.
Because it's not out on Disney Plus yet.
No.
So it will be down the road still.
Go figure. So, I mean, that's the way we do it. Yes. I mean, that's the way people make money. As we've said a million times, being in a movie theater and for as long as you can and make enough money makes your film more attractive when it goes on to streaming. Why people don't understand this, I don't know. Harold and the Purple Crayon, not doing so well.
Oh, the second.
Although its second week, it's down. It's only down 42%, so people are watching it. Neon actually has. They're bringing up the rear with 9 and 10. They had Cuckoo come out, and it only made $3 million, so it's no Long Legs. But Long Legs did $1.9 million, down 55% in its week 5. And it has made a total of $71.1 million. Again,
not bad
low budget horror is not bad at all. It's back, baby. It's never left.
Yeah.
So there's the box office news.
Nice.
I know.
Thank
Isn't that
you.
nice? Look, I can switch between these. Hey.
And we have to talk a little bit about, Rob, House of the Dragon season 2 got finished. A little bit disappointing, Rob. Just a setup season, and we have to wait another 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people. Yeah, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
I
Me too,
don't
Rob, me
know.
too. And it would be different if we had only now, let's say, the winter break. They're gone only for two or 3 months.
Well, I think again, I think that a lot of it had to do with the strikes, and they've talked a lot about it. But look, again, a mistake. That show's expensive. Everybody wants to make their money back. They were setting up. I mean, talk about a case of blue balls. It's like, hey, if you're going to start down there, you might as well finish me off, right? No, apparently not. And I was, although I did enjoy the season.
Me too.
I liked the
too,
season.
Rob.
I thought it was good.
It was missing those last 2 episodes. If it would have 10, like the first one.
Well,
The first
I
one
mean,
had
why
10,
wouldn't you?
And now we have 8.
Why wouldn't you do that? And it feels. I mean, look, I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth because I really enjoy it. Look, Emma Darcy. I know she's non-binary, but oh my God, she's so hot. I'm so in love with her.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why. Just by saying she's non-binary doesn't mean, or they're non-binary. Pardon me. It's hard to keep it all straight in your mind. But Emma, they identify as non-binary. She is a queen on the show, so that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
All zeros and ones, Rob.
But no, they play she very well. So I want to be. I just want to be. I mean, it's tough. It gets a little tough and murky when you're trying to keep it all straight. But I love her to death, and I don't think they were given enough to do to play as her. As Rhaenyra, I so they
just say Emma. Rob. Say
Emma. Rhaenyra did a lot of walking around.
Yeah.
I didn't feel
Damien
that
did a lot of
Rhaenyra
walking around, having visions, every week.
Yeah, and I felt like that could have been played out. We got it, and I felt that was a little bit of filler. I mean, still the actors are doing great, but I'll tell you. I thought House of the Dragon season 1 was as pretty perfect of a show as there could be. I mean, in terms of a prequel series, and Paddy Considine, he was so good. The acting was so good. The tension was palpable. Everything that was going on was great. And I mean, I liked what was happening in House of the Dragon season 2, but it didn't have the propulsive momentum. Yeah. Because I think that they were hampered by the strike and hampered by they had no climax, and we all know how no climax can ruin a whole day.
Yeah, exactly. The first
of course, I can go create my own climax later. I can't do that with House of the Dragon. What am I talking about? I have no idea.
The first season almost felt rushed against the second season. With the time jumps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we have the second season a little bit. Not finished for a great cliffhanger,
Yeah,
and especially with the 2-year waiting time. That's the big problem, If someone would have not watched yet the second season, I would even say, wait until season 3 comes out and then watch it shortly before season 3 starts.
Well, Undead Sick agrees with you because Undead Sick. Okay. All the way from the Netherlands sends in a show being expensive to me is not an excuse, Rob, because Game of Thrones never had this problem. Well, except in seasons 7 and 8. I agree with Dieter. Season 2 was a giant dick tease. It's better than having too much dick cheese, and that's a whole different problem. Just want to point that out. I'm on fire today, man. I'll be here all week. But yeah, that I agree. But I still enjoyed. It's still great TV.
Me too.
Still enjoyed it.
But it didn't have that feeling like the old Game of Thrones episodes where you were. I have to see it immediately.
No,
yes.
And I felt that I felt that it was a little bit meandering and it was less focused. I totally agree with that. The
second show that I watched on Amazon, I watched Batman: The Caped Crusader.
Uh-huh.
I was not really hurt by changes they made. But it's a good watch, but not a must watch.
Yeah.
It's nice, but nothing too
How
special.
did you feel? I mean, I know it's a period piece, but how did you feel
Yeah.
about all of our modern politics injected into identity politics?
Yeah, that didn't work, Rob. You're right. That didn't work.
I mean,
If you are setting
it's a
it in-
period piece.
Yeah, it's a noir. It's a noir thing, Rob. You know.
Hey, you know, I don't
True.
mind. I don't mind a little bit of girl on girl action, but it
Yeah.
just seems. So the problem is, not everything has that. I mean, if you look at from a percentage basis in terms of the population, you don't have to include this in every single show.
Yeah.
And when it happens, it's obtrusive. It hits me in the face. You know, and I'm like, come on, you guys. I mean, it's an animated series. It just seems it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, you're a little late to the party now. But because normally I wouldn't care. I'll watch guys and girls doing whatever. I'll bring it on. But sometimes it's like, really? You know, you're going to spend time animating this, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah. The other
But if
thing
you're going to
that
do
I've
it, go further. Don't
Yeah.
give that. Everything's teasing me now and again. I want to see some real hot action. You know what I'm saying? Animated or otherwise. And I don't mean fisticuffs on a rooftop.
So me, an okay watch. You can watch it, but it's not a must.
But I thought
Even
it was.
if
I liked how it was made. I liked all the design work
Yeah.
and the animation
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah. Even if I haven't watched Rebel Moon, I've seen something else that I was curious and interested in, but after renting it digitally, I canceled my already pre-ordered Blu-ray. I
You
was just
canceled a
curious-
pre-order?
Yeah, Rob. Because I was just curious about the People's Shogun, you know? And for me, Rob, this movie has no right to play at festivals. From my
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but
Take.
I'm right there with you.
So I get the idea behind is not that bad. But considering the translation, yes, it's a low budget and everything. But for me, no. Cancelled my pre-order. I've seen it, okay. But for me, this is not a movie that should have played festivals. And of course, it got in my radar because of the stuff with DC and the rights issues. So it got in my radar. And the last thing that I watched on streaming, Rob, I don't know about you, but we are loyal people. You know, if we are liking
like to
a
think
director,
so.
if you're liking a director,
Against
we
my better
go
judgment,
up.
I'm still doing this show.
Yeah, exactly, Rob. With a German, Rob. With a German. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? So if you're liking a director or someone, we follow him almost to the end, you know. I bought The Strangers, Rob. I know it's not good for him, but it's
The
Rennie.
Strangers
How could
Chapter 1?
Yeah, how could I not buy it, Rob? It's Rennie, you know.
Well, that's the end of Let's Get Physical Media with Burnett and Bastian. I am sorry, I've had to get rid of Dieter, but maybe I'll bring him back. All right.
But it's not about Rennie, Rob. It's about Neil Marshall's new movie, Duchess.
Ooh,
that I watched.
and how did you like it with his ex-fiance? I love Neil.
Ex-fiance. Yeah, he has that two great genre picks, Dog Soldiers and The Descent. But Duchess, Rob, is a wannabe Guy Ritchie movie, you know. And even Guy Ritchie doesn't even do great Guy Ritchie movies these days. So it was great to see Chris Gore interview Neil Marshall on Film Thread and almost tiptoeing around how underwhelming the movie actually is, considering. It's a little bit disheartening to see someone like Neil Marshall directing forgettable DTV stuff, actually, at the moment. And the Judges just falls into that category. It's not funny, just even if you put title cards with names for the characters in them, doesn't make the characters memorable. So unfortunately, the Duchess, the third one in a row, even if I like the layer, the third one in a row with his fiancée, that's just only mediocre, rotten as a whole.
It's too bad. I'm a big fan of Neil's.
Okay.
He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, totally. And the only thing that was great to see Philip Winchester from the Strike Back series. I love him. But for me, and if you're doing a revenge movie, Rob, the revenge shouldn't start 70 or 80 minutes in, you know? That's a little late, you know?
The Bastian axiom. If you're making a revenge movie,
don't start at 70 or 80 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
And even after 80 minutes, don't bring in a new character with a title card if you're already 80 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, Rob, not a great one. Guy Ritchie wannabe, unfortunately, it failed for me. But he was on Film Thread, and Chris did a little bit of an interview with Neil Marshall about it. So this was what I watched on digital.
Well, there you go. Love it.
Okay. So Rob, where do we go? You have said you have a lot of stuff to show.
Dude, I have a deluge of physical media, but I wanted to start with something that I was very impressed by. So there is a Vinegar Syndrome partner label that they have been restoring all kinds of interesting foreign films, really obscure stuff, animated stuff. They're a company called Deaf Crocodile. Now,
I read it in the thumbnail and I wasn't sure what you're referring to.
So Deaf Crocodile, there is a director, and forgive me if I am mispronouncing it. His name is Alexander Pushko. And what Deaf Crocodile did, let me go full frame on this one.
Yeah.
They crowdfunded. Now, they've put out some of his movies like Sampo has come out before. Pushko is considered the Russian Walt Disney. And some of his movies have been brought to America heavily edited. They've wound up on Mystery Science Theater 3000. He's been wantonly made fun of. But he really is one of the great Russian fantasists of all time. And Deaf Crocodile crowdfunded this box set, which now since this was a Kickstarter project. And first of all, I cannot tell you how much love went into this restoration. I gave the movies a cursory glance. The transfers are incredible. I haven't been through them all the way through. I'm just because I just got this. I got this, I want to say, yesterday. And I opened it up, and I was so impressed. Spot UV printing on the cover. You open it up, and what's really cool is each film comes in an O-ring, and then the O-rings.
Nice.
This is really dope. And again, Spot UV printing. When you put the O-rings together, I don't see it, but can you? Oh, I don't know what happened to my. I don't know what happened to my thing, but yeah, look at this scintillating YouTube. They spell out his name in Marvel fashion.
Oh,
let me see if I can. I don't know what happened to my.
So we have PT.
Yeah, you'll see it. Yeah, and you'll see. I don't know what. Oh, here it is. Hang on. There it is.
Oh, nice.
See, and that's very Marvel. I mean, it's very like an Alex Ross thing, and really, really cool. I mean, and again, so much thought has gone into the design, but the design is one thing. Really, when you get something like this, how great are the films? And they look. I mean, they look incredible, and the artwork alone, this stunning artwork. I don't know if this was created for this. I didn't look into it.
Yeah.
But each one, it has. Look at this. This is so cool. It's not really but look at this inner sleeve.
Nice.
I mean, and these are balls to the wall, like period fantasy epics. Ray Harryhausen comes to mind. Well, that's hell. Hence, Deaf Crocodile coming in and doing this, and the transfers. Now, I don't know anybody at Deaf Crocodile. There's a guy on Twitter that we've gone back and forth with, but he's talked about doing these things and the transfers. So each movie comes with a booklet with all this just incredible artwork. And these books are, while they're not the square bound, there's so much information on the films. I mean, this is one of the most informative. All four of these are some of the most informative articles on these films ever. And even if you have never heard of him before, if you like fantasy films, I can't recommend this. I don't know if you'll be able to buy this set, or if you just picked it up, or they're going to release these individually. But this is one of the things I dearly love about physical media and a company like Deaf Crocodile. I don't know if we would have received this if they didn't do what they've done here. And again, Deaf Crocodile is a partner label of Vinegar Syndrome. They've had other stuff come out. I want to say they restored that weird, like, I forget the name of it, the animated film that's like a musical, Bubbles. Is it Czechoslovakian? I forget. But I bought it. But this box set,
I think I remember it.
Yeah, this box set is an astonishing achievement. And, it goes a long way toward rescuing a filmmaker that in America was basically disparaged by Mystery Science Theater because his work was heavily edited and dubbed into English, and it's really horrible. But these films are I looked at each one for, maybe 10 minutes, but they're astonishing to look at, and they are a revelation. And I can't recommend this highly enough. So kudos to you, Deaf Crocodile. Again, I guess you would call this a cat in the bag for me. Yeah. But I had Sampo. I've bought Sampo from Vinegar Syndrome before. Now, I don't know if it's the same transfer or they redid it, but these are really astonishing. So, awesome. Very, very happy to have acquired this. And there's 4 films. There's Ilya Muromets, there's Sampo, there's The Tale of Tsar Sultan, and Ruslan and Ludmilla. And again, fantasy. They got all kinds of different techniques. Really, really, really great stuff. So,
from which year are those movies?
That's a good question. I want to say 50s and 60s.
50s, okay.
Yeah, and I haven't really delved into. I'm going to sit there one day. I'm going to take a whole day, and I want to watch all the movies and read all this material because it's just fascinating. When I first moved to LA, there was a Russian animator that inspired people like Willis O'Brien, and forgive my pronunciation, named Vladislav Stereevich. And my friend Taylor and I went to a presentation of Stereevich's animation, and it was done, I want to say, in the teens and the 20s. And when I was, during the 90s, I worked for three or 4 years on a series called Masters of Russian Animation. And it was this Russian actor and his wife Joan got the rights to all of these Russian animated shorts and put them out, and they needed somebody to prepare them. So I used an Avid, and I added these opening and closing motion graphics. And believe it or not, I actually fell in love with my wife working on those projects because she had done the graphics and things, and we worked together on these movies on and off for 3 years. And then when we were producing a movie called The Specials after Free Enterprise, she called me out of the blue. I told her I couldn't work on Masters of Russian Animation anymore because I was going to make Free Enterprise and then The Specials. And she called me out of the blue, and I always had a crush on her. I invited her to the set of The Specials. The first day Rob Lowe was filming, I'm like, why didn't you come down to the set of this movie I'm a producer on? There's an aside. But anyway, that's... And she was a babe, too. She's Ukrainian. But that was fun. And so I've always appreciated Russian fantasy work. And there's a lot of Russian science fiction and fantasy films that we've never seen here in the West that I'd like to see. So hopefully, when Russia stops being who they are, maybe we can get back to appreciating their long history of animation and fantasy filmmaking. By the way, if you want to see a very interesting short that I worked on from Masters of Russian Animation, there's a short called Film. And it's all about the travails of trying to get a movie made in Russia, and it's exactly the same travails they have in Hollywood. So watch Film. So there you go. That was one thing I got. Now here's another thing. So I love it. look, I'm going to tell you right away. I wanted the Purple Rain 40th anniversary steelbook.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I like the one that came out in the UK was the one I wanted. It had the key art on the front. I didn't even bother to try and buy it from a retailer. I went straight to Evil Bay and ordered it. Now, I ordered it from a place, I didn't know this place. I found it, they had it, click, and this was like 2 months ago. Well, yesterday, it showed up. Now, you never know.
Nice.
Especially with steelbooks. So I open up, I get this box, incredibly well packed. Incredibly well packed. Not only that, it came with one of my favorite steelbook sleeves. It was already in the steelbook sleeve. Now I haven't even cracked this open because, again, I got this yesterday, but I haven't even taken it off. But here's the steelbook. And you know I'm a huge Prince fan. So I did not know who or anything about the people. I didn't really do any research. I just was like, give me that steelbook, click. But first of all, the way it came, the way it was packed, chef's kiss. But they sent me a flyer. And they have a company called Dark Woods Media. And Dark Woods Media, get lost in your collection. And it says, thank you for the purchase. Please visit our store, which is Steve and Dylan. I guess Steve and Dylan on eBay. For thousands of great steelbooks, collector's editions, mint slipcovers, and other rare items. Please add us to your favorites and mailing list to receive all new listings. For better deals on all items, contact me directly. And that's darkwoodsmedia@yahoo.com to join our VIP club, or text me at 586-292-9114. We also post new arrival items on Instagram daily, and follow us at Dark Woods Media. Again, don't know these guys, but after the treatment I got with this disc...
So not a private seller, actually a dealer.
A dealer. Well, these fucking guys rule. So I don't know if they watch this show or see this. I can't thank you enough for the care with which this was packaged. And I know it's a little thing, but I buy these sleeves myself. I'm always buying these sleeves. They're not cheap, and it's like $20 for $30. But this kind of customer service, very much appreciated. So thank you guys. And again, they are Dark Woods Media, and I want to delve in and you know how we like our special editions. So you guys, you fucking rule. Just saying. So well done. By the way, they did not pay me to say this. I just got this. Was impressed by their care. Customer service. So thanks, guys. Also, you know how I'm...
It wasn't a bean grower, Rob.
It was not a bean grower. It was not a bean grower. And now you know I'm also obsessed with like the Dolby Atmos versions of albums. Yeah. And Rhino Records, I did get Fleetwood Mac's Rumors and Atmos, and basically what's the Doors' greatest hits. I've been listening to Doors since I was a teenager, since junior high school, since I was like 11. Both of these sound incredible. They're incredible. And by the way, if anybody, I mean, I know Bill Hunt told me where to go get it, but if you got an X propaganda from Super Deluxe Editions, I'm looking for that. But I love these Atmos versions. I pre-ordered a Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, and the Spiders from Mars. Man, do I love these. Of course, you know, you have to sit in your home theater and listen to them.
Of course.
So, but they're amazing. Love this.
It's always good to get music in a multi-channel mix.
Oh my God! And these have, like the Super Deluxe Editions, 2-channel, 5.1, and Atmos.
That's great.
And Atmos. By
the way, it's always good to have an alternative, considering your own setup.
Full disclosure, my home theater system is damaged because the puppies chewed through 2 of my rear surround speaker wires. So that was frustrating. So I went and had to fix those to cure them properly. So that was great. Now, you know that Kino Lorber is our unofficial sponsor on this channel. I got, Kino Lorber sends out 2 different size boxes. They have like a single size box, kind of this square. It's a rectangular thing, but it's square too. And then you get the double size box overview. And when the double size box comes in, that means there's more maybe in it. And sometimes when you pick the double size box up, now keep in mind they're sending me review copies, full disclosure. They are sponsors of this channel. Matt at Kino Lorber has got me interviews. I was able to interview Greg Lemley. They put out that documentary about the Lemley theater chain and what happened to them during the pandemic, which is terrific. So Matt does make sure that Kino Lorber, and Kino Lorber sends boxes to a lot of us reviewers. It's part of their, clearly, when they're laundering money for the drug lords. I mean, that makes it easier for them to do this. But Kino Lorber is, I mean, they've quickly become one of my favorite labels simply because of what they're putting out. And they're always upping their game, and they're always doing something interesting. And this box had, I think, 12 discs in it. It had 5 Kino Cult titles. Now, what makes, you know, and we've seen,
which is the new sub-label from them.
Yeah, and now we've seen, so they're now up, this was Kino Cult numbers 10 through 14 that they sent me. Now, they're putting stuff out. There's a 4K Kino Cult title, and there are, as we know, we've seen before, there are DVDs such as Phantasmagoria and Sexy SWAT Team.
Yeah.
I mean, it runs the gamut. You never know what you're going to get. But this time, everything, all Kino Cult label numbers 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, all had a theme. They all had a theme. And let me just get them for you. And the theme is 1970s Nature Strikes Back movies.
Okay.
Which, as a kid, I loved. Now, and let me show you. Starting with Food of the Gods, which is probably the least of these movies. But again, you got the O-ring, you got special features, and every single one of these discs has an alternate cover. And some of these alternate covers look like they got European artwork.
Yeah, I never seen that. I only know the slipcover.
Yeah, and the slipcovers, I think this is modern artwork. I don't think that's from. So Food of the Gods, spine number 10. Then we've got, and this is even crazier for me, and go with me on this. Joan Collins. That's right. Star of one of the greatest Star Trek episodes ever made, City on the Edge of Forever. Joan Collins stars in another H.G. Wells title, Empire of the Ants. Which, by the way, is 2 for 2 in terms of movies little Bobby B saw in the theater. And look at that. Another lurid artwork. Gotta love that. So Empire of the Ants, this would be Kino Cult spine number 11.
So this would be a double feature. Can we make it a triple?
Oh, we can.
Can we make it a triple?
Kino Cult spine number 12 is a movie that I've owned. I had this movie on VHS. And check this cast out. Ray Milland and Sam Elliott, who just turned 80. One of the great key arts of a horror film ever. Today the pond, tomorrow the world. It's the day that nature strikes back. How many times have that been used? Frogs. Frogs. Look at that. Look at that cover.
Remember seeing that on TV, Rob.
Oh yeah. And then look at this art. Now this looks like it's the Italian artwork, but the fact that Kino Lorber is tracking this shit down. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is some dope ass shit. And again, when I was a kid, I was fascinated by this movie. It took me a long time to see, not Frogs. I'd seen Frogs, and I always thought Frogs was hilarious, like Night of the Lepus, or Lupus. Night of the Lepus. This has one of the greatest pieces of key art ever done for a horror movie. This was the Night of the Crawling Terror. Spine number 13. Squirm. Squirm. I mean, look at this psychedelic 70s art. Come on, man. It looks like a biker gang gone bad movie. Yeah. But it's about worms. And then look at this cover.
Demonetized. Nice.
I mean, Now, the and I switched these out, but now here's the piece de resistance. Now, this is how cool Kino Lorber is, and maybe they don't know they even did this. So we know that we got Empire of the Ants with Joan Collins, who co-starred in the greatest Star Trek original series episode, according to some people, City on the Edge of Forever. So what is the fifth and final Kino Cult title? Spine number 14, and who stars in it? Well, it's a living, crawling hell on earth, Dieter. William Shatner in King of the Spiders. King of, and not only this is how fucking cool Kino Lorber is. Not only do they have Kingdom of the Spiders, right? You open it up, and you have artwork I've never seen. So this is this artwork.
Me neither.
I've never seen that.
See?
But
A third one.
Third piece of art, which I really should keep because it is Shatner himself. I mean,
Are those 4 or 5 movies a requirement for being a Starship Trooper?
yes. It's a bug planet.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This is why I love Kino Lorber. I love Kino Lorber because somebody thought about this. Somebody thought that, okay, we've got these titles, we're going to put them together. They sent them out to their reviewers as a 5-pack. It's they took the time to find all this artwork, and they've got great special features on here. And I think I don't. What's really interesting is now that I'm curious, Kino always puts the studio where these are from. So this is MGM. Okay. MGM. I think Frogs is MGM. MGM. These are all MGM titles.
All MGM titles.
So, which is owned by Amazon, I'm sure. So Kino Cult, look at this. I mean, if I was like 8 years old and somebody gave this to me for my birthday and I got like a Christmas, this would be like Santa himself came into my bedroom and ate my cookies, and I don't mean this euphemistically, and he would just set this down. This would have been the greatest holiday morning ever. So 5 titles from Kino Lorber, Kino Cults.
Nice.
And it's weird because so here's what I don't understand.
They fit the title Cult.
Here's what I don't understand. So I got this from Kino Cult. This is label 13. This also is label 13. So maybe this isn't officially Kino Cult. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, this is number 1. So maybe there's something. Maybe the DVDs have a different spine. Now I've got to jump into this. Now I got to jump into this. You never know. So that was in the Kino Lorber box. But that's not all, Dieter. That's not all. So then we got a classic title, another MGM classic title, 99 River Street, which I've never seen. Looks like a film noir. This is from 1953. So you got this. Pretty cool. Evelyn Keynes, John Payne, 99 River Street. It's got that great artwork. Don't know anything about it. Didn't open it up yet, but it came. And then this, 2 terrifying thrillers. Robert Faust, and John Howe, 2 movies, Peril and Distress, and Soon the Darkness, which I've always wanted to see, in Sudden Terror. Awesome double bill.
Peril and Distress.
And I don't know if it's Faust. I mean, he's directed movies that we've all seen before, but this is pretty cool. And Soon the Darkness, 2 young British nurses bicycling through the desolate French countryside, a mysterious stranger on a lonely stretch of road. The women become separated, and soon after, one of them disappears. Now the remaining girl, alone and frightened, begins an increasingly desperate search for answers among the strangely uncooperative locals. Where is her friend? Was there a murder? And as the darkness approaches, is the killer now stalking her? Now, Mr. Faust, however you pronounce his last name properly, he directed The Abominable Dr. Phibes with Vincent Price. So that's pretty cool to have this.
I think in Soon the Darkness, will come out here too in a media book.
Well, there you go.
Don't do it.
Can't wait to see it. Now, if you like Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, here is one of the inspirations from director Sergio Corbucci, Navajo Joe with Burt Reynolds. Kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio's character going and making Italian films. This is very cool to have with an O-ring from the year I was born, 1967. So if you're a Tarantino fan, this is an adjunct watch. So that, actually, it wasn't just... So there's 13 discs. So that was the cool thing. But then, Kino Lorber doesn't
Still in
stop.
the box.
5 4K discs. 5. So
Perhaps not even out yet.
I think they come out this week. So first, we've got Lee Marvin, Gene Hackman, and Sissy Spacek in Prime Cut, a crime thriller. This actually movie is great, and Michael Ritchie directed it, but it's got an audio commentary by Lee Marvin biographer Dwayne Epstein. This movie is dope. Gene Hackman and Lee Marvin. I remember I've seen this movie on TV like 6 times. I've never seen it on video before. So now I have it in 4K. Can't wait to watch it.
It could be like watching it for the first time. Though.
Could be like watching it for the first time. And then Kino Lorber, here's the smarty pants going on at Kino. These next 4 are French classics. French 4K films. One of my favorite French directors, Jean-Pierre Melville. We first get Bob the Gambler, Bob le Flambeur. And then we have, I asked Elizabeth how to pronounce this title, Les Doulos. There's a slang term meaning slave or crime, but there's this. I've never seen this. This is the only Jean-Pierre Melville film I've never seen. You know, we've got things like The Red Circle and Army of Shadows and Le Samurai. Le Samurai, I got it on 4K from the Criterion sale. But so you got 2 Jean-Pierre
You're
Melville.
sure, or perhaps the American title is completely different?
Could be. I'm not sure. I haven't even cracked these open. But two French titles from Jean-Pierre Melville, and then 2 more French titles. We've got one of my favorite French films of this period of time. Last year at Marienbad, and the last time I saw this, I took a date to it before I met Elizabeth Jocelyn, and we went and saw this at the ArcLight. This played at the ArcLight. This film is absolutely beautiful. If you've never seen it, it's very enigmatic. Major Chai Chai can tell you all about this. Tim Lucas does a commentary on this. Volker Schlondorf is interviewed here.
Volker Schlondorf.
Volker, which I knew you would love. But again, to get this in 4K, I don't know why this isn't a Criterion release, but hey, it's from Studio Canal, and so they have a deal clearly, and this is great. And then finally, a movie I've owned this movie on VHS, I've owned it on Laserdisc, I've owned it on DVD, and now I have it on 4K. Godard's Alphaville, a great science fiction film from the 60s. Nice. And, the German band, Alphaville. And again, Tim Lucas does a commentary on this, which I haven't heard. I'm sure it's been repurposed, but it's great to have this. I can't wait to delve into this. Of course, I've seen it a million times. But,
Nice box.
Yeah. And that was Kino Lorber, man. That was just Kino Lorber sent me. Can you believe that? And then I've got more to show, but I'll show later.
Yeah. I think, Rob, we have some super chats.
God bless Kino Lorber. I mean,
totally.
every time I have to re-alphabetize my collection every week now, but hey, God bless you guys. We do have, let's see, Undead Sick. I already read Undead Sick. Stubble McShave. Sends in a couple of tips and says, do you think Eli Roth may be put in director jail after Borderlands? He both wrote and directed it. Tom Hooper has only done a 5-minute short movie, and it got good reviews after his Cats debacle 5 years ago. Yeah, I mean, when you lose...
Isn't Eli doing Thanksgiving too?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. He's got his own niche. Look, I would assume... this debacle is kind of what happened to Neil Marshall's Hellboy. I would... They probably balked. I mean, Eli Roth walked off this project a long time ago. And then it turned into again, I have no knowledge of the production of this movie, but I would assume that people were at odds. Like Eli Roth probably wanted to make Borderlands into an Eli Roth movie. That was the point. He was able to muster up an A-list cast, and then after they probably saw what he was doing, the studio might have said no, and they might have been at odds. It's a video game movie. It's for kids. Because people at the studio never played fucking Borderlands, so they don't know what kind of a game it is. And, they didn't know. And I think what's unfortunate is you can compare it now to Fallout, and you can see the studio knows they definitely have egg on their face. So,
Totally.
But will he be in director jail? No. I mean, he'll go back as long as his movies, the low-budget films, are making money. He'll get to make... I mean, because people in the industry know you either fucked up royally. It was either you were a visionary like Cats, and it didn't work, and then where do you go? I mean, it's really hard after a debacle like that. It's really hard to get another job unless you've already got stuff set up. And Thanksgiving 2 will probably make more money, and he'll be fine. Stub McShave goes on to say, I enjoyed House of the Dragon Season 2. My big criticism was that many indoor scenes were way too dark. It was difficult to see what was happening in those scenes. I think a lot of that has to do with how they're being broadcast. You know, when you get House of the Dragon on Blu-ray or 4K and you get Game of Thrones, the last season of Game of Thrones, like especially The Long Night, looks entirely different on physical media. Because they don't... I don't know why people are color timing things the way they're color timing them on cable, but a lot of the time, especially with Game of Thrones, things are way too dark, and they weren't shot that way. So when you go back and you watch them on physical media, they're kind of a revelation. But yeah, I've noticed that too, and it's very, very frustrating. And I'm glad, Stubble McShave, in terms of this kind of fantasy, he's kind of my bellwether go-to guy. If he likes it,
go-to guy,
it's worth watching. By the way, Stubble, I read a Brandon Sanderson essay yesterday on Robservations and thought of you, sir. Vegas RoboCop says, in the words of the great Dick Jones, Dick, I'm very disappointed. Wait a minute.
About
Dick,
what?
Wait a minute. Dick Jones didn't say, Dick, I'm very disappointed in RoboCop. Dan O'Herlihy said, Dick, I'm very disappointed. Because Dick Jones, he's saying that to Dick Jones. Dick, I'm very disappointed. Dick Jones does not say that. Ronnie Cox does not say that. And if I'm wrong, I stand corrected.
Oh, I think you're right, Ron.
But
it
Vegas...
was the man above him.
Yeah, it was Dan O'Herlihy, Connell Cochran from Halloween 3.
Yeah.
Dan O'Herlihy. Dan O'Herlihy from The Last Starfighter. Dan O'Herlihy. But anyway,
but
Vegas
it was just a quote, Rob? No question? Just a quote? In the Super Chat?
It was a quote. And then I'm very disappointed. RoboCop 2014 is irredeemable. I just can't with that one. Well, I got to tell you something. I have to tell you something. There is a girl, smoking hot. I think she lives in Montreal. Her name's Dahlia. She talks about two things on social media. Well, three things. Her love of steak and wine, her unbelievable sex life, and her incredible physical media collection. And she was on Twitter. I know, what's not to love? I mean, she's got an insatiable sexual appetite, and she will tell you all about it. And I don't believe it's just for show. She talks about eating steak and drinking wine all the time, woman after my own heart. But her physical media collection is beautifully laid out. She has a whole wall of her physical media collection, and she's got her TV is kind of inset, and it looks like she's got a great sound system, and she's a total action film fan. And she was on Twitter yesterday defending RoboCop 2014, the remake. And the director who made Elite Force, Jose, I forget his name. They made the Elite Force movies in Brazil. Of course, like they bring him to America. And rather than let him make his own, it's like what happened to John Woo. It's like, oh, we love John Woo, and then let's bring him over. And then he makes Hard Target into a John Woo movie, and the studio executives are, what's with all the doves and the slow motion? You can't do that. And they make him change it. So you got the guy who made the Elite Force, the Elite Squad movies.
What?
Elite Squad movies, not Elite Force. Those movies kick fucking ass. And then they bring him to America to make RoboCop, and they don't, I mean, you'd think that RoboCop 1 was made by a crazy foreign director, who gives you what RoboCop 1 is. His first English language movie is Flesh and Blood. Then he gives us RoboCop. This guy's first English language film is the new RoboCop, 2014. Let him do his thing. But whatever. I don't know why I even know that or brought that up, but I follow Dahlia on social media, and she's delightful. And
because she was defending the remake.
She was defending RoboCop.
That's why you brought her up.
Just yesterday. Roberto Suarez, the lovely Roberto Suarez. He is a great friend of this channel and a good man, great man. And by the way, he sends me Bruce's Candy Kitchen cinnamon saltwater taffy just because. And he's got a son who is a true cineast. Felix, his son, has great taste in movies and knows his shit. And he's only 15. Wants to know, is Batman Caped Crusader a period piece or a timeless noir universe? Like Blade Runner after the tech future, or how Game of Thrones is permanently medieval? That's a good point. No, I mean, it
is a period piece, but with modern sensibilities. But it's a period piece. You don't have computers or stuff like that. Batman has just a clipboard that he's working on.
All right. Okay.
So for me, from the setting, it's a period piece.
All right.
But modern sensibilities stuffed into it.
Christopher Carrillo or Carrillo, Sarah Hess, a producer on Hot D, says they wrote 10 episodes, but due to Warner Brothers' financial woes and the buyout, they weren't given enough money. Well, that makes sense. Oh, okay. So you're going to skimp on one of the most lucrative TV shows you're making. This is the problem. You know, David Zaslav, this week Warner Brothers stock price is way down. It's amazing that these people take over these companies without understanding their core business. Their job is to make great entertainment. And all they've done, I mean, you knew that there was a problem when they rebranded HBO to Max. You're going to name it after Cinemax? Not HBO, which is the Tiffany standard of great program. It's because none of these people are consumers of the product that they make. It's just, drives me crazy. And they're killing the entertainment business because they don't know their own business. But that's, I've been saying,
like you said, Game of Thrones is the flagship,
It is the flagship. And I'm sorry, we can't give you this money. Well, I don't know. Maybe if you released Batgirl or you put out Acme or Coyote versus Acme, it might make some money.
Especially after the resonance of season 1. You would think they go all in with the second one.
Well, it's because they don't know what they're doing. They're business people that are running businesses that they know fuck all about. They really don't. And it's happening across the board everywhere. I won't get into the debacle of Warner Brothers Classic. You see this? It was on Digital Bits. Bill Hunt covered it, but they created a new Warner Brothers division that George Feltenstein didn't know much about or anything at all. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? And by the way, I wasn't going to slam Warner Brothers today, but why not? So they
when it comes across your way, Rob.
they had a list of movies that they were considering for remastering, like in 4K. Oh, yeah. Was Excalibur on that list?
No.
Was The Right Stuff on that list?
Probably not.
No. They don't even know their own back catalog, and they also don't know how their own back catalog relates to consumers who buy 4K discs, which is even more troubling. Actually, you know what? Now that I have you live, let's see. List of Warner titles they're considering. Let's see if remastering. Because, to be fair, let's see if this comes up.
There could be something.
Let's see. Warner Archives master list. Yeah. No, these are old. I think it was. Let me go to the Digital Bits. Because Bill Hunt knows.
Easier way.
Yeah, it will. Now, let me see if I can find this. Fantasy Home Screening. Warner Brothers A-List tips its hands on 4K catalog titles. Okay. So let's go. Let's just do this. And again, from Bill Hunt and the Digital Bits, let's read the list of Warner Brothers titles they're considering. Warner's A-List 4K poll. This is their 4K poll, included the possibilities. So, we're going to go through this whole list. and we'll weigh in, because a lot of these things are great. They really are.
Okay.
But it is the ones that aren't on this list that are glaring omissions. So let's talk about it. Them, the giant ant movie from 1954. I'm all about that. Sure, why not? Forbidden Planet from 56, 57. Yes, want that. Speed Racer. Lethal Weapon. The Conjuring and Conjuring 2. Don't care. They're good movies, but don't care. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yes. Amadeus. Yes, we're getting that. We're finally getting the third, or the theatrical version and the long version in 4K, because that transfer is terrible. Amadeus. Hooray. THX 1138, of course. Barry Lyndon, why isn't it out already? Nightmare on Elm Street, the 7-film collection. Well, we're getting the first one coming out. Demolition Man, okay. Artificial Intelligence, sure. Spielberg. Gravity, yes. Logan's Run, yes. Gremlins 2, the new batch, yes. Lolita, Kubrick's and the remake, sure. Boogie Nights, yes. The Blade trilogy. That should have been out in 4K for the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, but whatever. Eyes Wide Shut, hell yes. Soylent Green, yes. Constantine, yes. Seven, yes. Under Siege and Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, well, one of those. James Bond, 6 films with Connery, yes. The Haunting, yes. And Green Lantern, okay, whatever. But, where's Contact? Where's like we said, Right Stuff?
It's not a bad list, Rob. You know.
Excalibur, dude. Excalibur. The problem is.
But if you have that kind of big catalog, one at a time, Rob. One at a time.
I understand.
We want foot in the grave. We want it now, Rob. We have to be patient.
But they don't understand the people that are buying 4K discs. Look, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest will be great in 4K, and I'll buy it. But, even the way the film is shot, I would much rather have a fantasy. I would rather have Zemeckis' Contact than One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Don't get me wrong. I'd want both. And I really want Amadeus in 4K because the previous media books, it's terrible. But, come on. Who doesn't want Excalibur? Come on. And give me Barry Lyndon. Why don't we already have that? Why don't we already have Eyes Wide Shut? You did Clockwork Orange. You did The Shining. Because you know what? Someone's like, what's Barry Lyndon? One of Kubrick's best, most reassessed films. Let's give it to us. Anyway, just saying.
But they're on the list, Rob. Be patient.
You know what? I could die soon. I'm getting older every day.
Yeah, I know.
You know how much this Dermalogica face scrub makes to make my skin look so good? It's expensive. Bobby needs some, I don't know what that means, but I'm just saying.
Some products.
I need products, man. Come on, I need product. That's exactly right. Alex Knight sends in a super chat and says, is the average filmgoer unsophisticated? They support films based on existing IPs while creative auteur films fail. Do they not want to be challenged? Well, you nailed that one, Alex. I mean, we live in a world, I think the real problem is movies are no longer, the art of cinema is no longer what we're having here. Obviously movies always wanted to be entertainment, but nowadays, movie-going audiences, like when I was a kid, I would watch anything. I loved movies. I loved all kinds of stories. Now that's not the case. I wanted to be taken places and experience things I'd never experienced before, whether it was emotionally, whether it was geographically, whatever it was. That's why when I was 12 years old and I saw Bob Fosse's All That Jazz, it became one of my favorite movies. I would be hard-pressed to pay any 12-year-old to go see All That Jazz and get something out of it today. It's a different world. And, movies are now spectacles. They're amusement park rides for a lot of people. And it's frustrating. What do you think?
And we have an overflow of stuff, against...
Oh, yeah.
Back in the old days, Rob, when you were happy. Oh, this movie is coming on the tele,
Yeah.
Better save the date, But at this point, you have so much stuff you can watch, You can't keep up with everything that you are interested in. It's tough.
Yeah. And now another problem that Alexander Wilson, who's been a great fan and been around this channel for a long time, Alexander Wilson sends in a tip and brings up a very good point. Warner Brothers Discovery, Paramount, and AMC networks wrote down over $16 billion of value of their TV assets this week. We are finally entering the death of cable, which has been the number one problem in media Hollywood because it has decreased profits across the board. Thoughts? 100%. 100%. But you're absolutely right. But one of the problems is, so television used to be one of the most lucrative. If you had a hit TV show, how it would work is, say you have a hit TV show in America, something like House, the TV show House, Dr. House. So the more that House would go on, TV shows would be made with a deficit. They're expensive, and they have to catch up to actually break even. And what really helps is if a hit TV show runs 3 or 4 seasons in America, then it can get picked up by foreign companies. Like it'll be distributed in Germany, in France, in England. And each one of those countries has their own television companies, and they would license the show. They don't have to make it, but they would license it. And those licensing fees, so you're selling House to each one of those countries, and you're making money. And that's where the big money comes in. So a TV show like House could be sold over and over and over and over and over and over again. We saw Netflix spend $100 million to broadcast for 1 year. To broadcast on Friends, $100 million. That was money from heaven. And that kept this business going. It's all dying. Because when you put a show on a streaming service, it suddenly makes no more money. Yeah. Just like movies. A movie does not make money unless if a company has to license a movie out, they pay, like Kino Lorber pays a fee to MGM to put these out on disc. And clearly not much of a fee because they're able to get so many movies out on disc. But so all of that's gone. All of this phenomenal cheddar that used to flow into the studio's coffers doesn't happen anymore. Like, you'll license like Netflix licensed Suits, right? Well, they pay a licensing fee, and they pay it to the people that like for Netflix when they did Friends, they got $100 million for that. Suits probably didn't get that much because Suits is a show that was played out. Maybe it had some syndication value, I don't know, but it's played out. So they pay money, and then you start having the writers and producers bitching because they're not getting any money when Suits becomes the number one show on Netflix. But that's because it's not generating any money. You don't get, now that they have ad tiers, you can get ads, but it's not like broadcast ad tiers are, or broadcast television advertising was. So it's all different now. So whereas TV shows used to make money in many different, not just selling ads domestically, but when it would go into strip syndication and you would sell it all over the world, they were making money constantly off shows for years after they went off the air. All of that is gone because once something goes on to streaming, it's not generating any more income. Unless you have an ad-based tier and they're desperately trying to get back to that to make that advertising money. But advertising money is now spread out across YouTube. YouTube is the biggest streaming platform in the world, and it's getting bigger. And television is changing. The television landscape is changing. I have an article I want to read later about just how much it's going to change in the future, but nobody seems to be paying attention. But Alexander Wilson is exactly right.
And Suits came out of the blue, that it was that kind of a resurgence hit.
Yeah, and then everybody's wondering, well, somebody's making a lot of money. Well, actually not really, because Netflix paid their licensing fee that was agreed upon. They didn't know that Suits is going to become the big hit that it became. Now, the benefit is it became such a hit that they're now making a new Suits TV series where everybody can apparently get paid again. But again, you're not going to have the money because these streaming services like Netflix are worldwide. And if Netflix is making Suits and it goes on to the streaming service, there aren't residuals that are going to be paid out over time. And if they are, they're from that little ad revenue, the ad sharing revenue. But that ad revenue has to account for everything that's on Netflix's platform. And, my God, if you make a hit reality show for Netflix like Love is Blind, now there's Love is Blind UK and Love is Blind Mexico, and they can make that for a fraction of what a show costs, a network scripted show costs, and they get how many views? I mean, it's the economic model has totally changed.
Has changed.
And
Totally
Hollywood
changed.
does not know what to do. Hollywood is falling apart. And everybody's scrambling around, and it doesn't help that the people who are running Hollywood don't know anything about the business anymore. And they're scrambling, going, why? I just don't understand. I'm just quoting my own movie there. Vegas RoboCop says, studio pooched it 100%. Are you talking about RoboCop still? Yeah, they did. But then again, look, it's not like RoboCop 2 and RoboCop 3 were the greatest movies in the world either. And the RoboCop
Correct.
TV series and the RoboCop animated series. So, Undead Sick is back and says, I think the big problem is that we barely have experimental and independent filmmaking, David Lynch anymore. Now everything is about IP. Well, that's true, and the methods of distribution are difficult. But you know what? We're seeing a resurgence. I think you're seeing. I mean, everything is IP because all culture now has become monetized, and people like Wall Street, people like BlackRock and Vanguard, we have these huge economic forces that are only driven by profit. And the thing is, it was understood. I mean, there's still countries, I think France kind of understands this. They protect the artistic nature of media. So, like, if a movie isn't going to play in theaters and it goes right to streaming, they can't play it like the Cannes Film Festival. The French still are trying their best, I think, to preserve the idea of movies and TV as some kind of art form. And, we have all these forces. All anybody cares about is profit. But what they're doing is they're destroying the tapestry of our culture that makes, art is and music, all of these things make life worth living. And now it's all going to be turned over to AI and analytics and all this. And I think, again, in our quest for profits, we don't know what we've lost until it's gone. And we're seeing that already. I mean, I was seeing shockingly realistic images of people, totally AI generated.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll never have to put people in commercials anymore. You don't have to have models, real models anymore. Because all these images, advertising, everything that we've been using traditionally, like I used to go buy at the newsstand and buy these really expensive foreign magazines, like fashion magazines, just to look at the images. Now it's all going to be AI generated. I mean, we're losing so much, and we don't even know what we're losing, and that's what's shocking. Well, the analytics will drive it, and we all have to make profit. Yeah, but we're going to be left in a boring a world of regurgitated imagery that AI is giving us. And where's the impulse to make real art if you can't monetize it? You can't get anything out of it. I don't know. Anyway, I don't mean to be a bummer.
Yeah.
Let's talk physical media.
Are we through with the super chats?
No, Alexander Wilson threw in a tip and says,
Okay.
Alexander Wilson says, I read a survey from U.S. News and World Report that the average monthly cable bill in the USA is $247.16. That right there is the biggest problem. Cable's too expensive with their monopolistic pricing. Oh, yeah, and whether it's internet and all that. I mean, that's another thing. I'm getting to the point where I don't even watch enough. I think Netflix has enough stuff on it. You can always find something to watch. But I have enough of a physical media collection right now that, I'll just wait and see House of the Dragon and buy it on 4K. Yeah. I don't know. But where are you at, Dieter? Let's go over to you. We're caught up with Super
I would
Chats.
say I have not as much as Rob, but I have five titles to show. And the first one is actually my favorite of the trilogy, so I'm really glad it came out as a 4K, but I didn't bought the trilogy because I have the third one and the first one already as a 4K. I got Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, with, of course, the great William Sandler as that. And actually, this is my favorite, one of the great sequels, which is not retreading the stuff from the first one. It did something completely fresh and new with the second one.
I would be remiss. Could
Journey.
you put that disc back up there? See that character, see Death right there, Bill Sadler's Death.
Yeah.
I would be remiss if I did not point out that man right there is one of the co-stars of True Noir.
Noir.
The
Exactly.
fully immersive audio drama written by Max Allan Collins in 10 chapters that I am directing. Bill Sadler plays the former Vice President of the United States, General Dawes. So tune in. He also starred in The Hills Run Red, which, by the way, Bloody Disgusting picked as their #1 movie about making movies this week. Just saying, so I'm not just some schlep rock talking on the internet. Come on. I'm making stuff for you to consume. Thank you for that self-serving interlude.
Yeah. And Rob, we had 2 movies, always sometimes coming out at the same time with some kind of same topic. We had Immaculate battling it out against The First Omen. And we had 2 Spider movies. And the first one, Rob, I told you I wasn't a big fan of the movie Infested.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. But I pretty much enjoyed the movie Sting, which was a great little independent feature. And what I was totally surprised, Rob, was how the disc looked. And I thought, why is this on the disc printed? Because the husband is drawing comics. So this is a little bit of the comics he's drawing. And Richard Taylor from the Weather Workshop and his team were responsible for the practical effects. And we have Alila Brown who played the young Furiosa as the lead here. And it's not actually an Earth spider, it's an alien spider who just grows bigger and bigger. So you only have one spider here, and it was, for me, way better than Infested with all the million spiders. Really enjoyed it, though. Really enjoyed it. Great sound design. It plays, of course, it looks like studio sets, but I had a great time with Sting. Totally good one. This one you showed, Rob, but I will get into a little bit more because I don't think you showed it completely. I got the Man from Uncle, the 4K, and it has the cover art, the mostly known one, and it comes with a booklet and a poster. Of course, the poster is the artwork that we know, both of them.
I like that artwork. There you go.
Yeah.
Boy, it's too bad that movie didn't get a sequel. I love that movie.
Yeah. That would have been nice. And the booklet for it. So, Uncle. That was the third one. The fourth one from the Girls with Guns era from Hong Kong. Cat in the backdrop. It's called Angel Terminators. So, hopefully nice. This was actually another cover artwork that you could have chosen, or this one. But I want actually with the little more slicker one, just with the little bit of a Smith & Wesson at the front. Angel Terminators.
Nice.
And then, Rob, one of the highlights, of course, for me this year was our interview with Cynthia. And perhaps you don't remember it, but I said there is one gap of a movie that has to be closed. And it got closed this weekend, but it can't be the end of the line, Rob. It finally got out here in Germany. No Retreat, No Surrender 2, the follow-up of the first one, which is actually called Karate Tiger here in Germany. It finally came out, but Vinegar Syndrome, Eureka, or 88 Films, you have to get on this movie, because considering the picture quality, I was not actually happy with it, Rob. It is all over the place. It can look good, but really all over the place, the picture quality. So I'm happy that I got the movie finally in the longest version. There was a lot of censorship was going on back in the day. So this is actually the longest version of the movie. But I can only hope, I think the right situation is more complicated with this one. And not with the other movies that Cynthia did. So perhaps the right situation is a little bit more complicated here. But I would hope that Vinegar Syndrome at some point, or the other labels, get a crack on it, and perhaps George Feldenstein can help them to find a good negative master of the uncut version. So this was another cover variation. Yet you have even that shitty one. You could have bought it with those shitty covers too. But I went more with something that looked more like back in the day, almost like the VHS. So No Retreat, No Surrender 2, finally out. But it was a little bit let down, Rob, considering the picture quality. And I got the second one. This will go out to our friend Paul and Brunotto, who were responsible that we could do the interview, because he said, Dieter, I want that movie too. And the only good thing that I can tell some people, it is region free, actually. Even if it says region B, the movie is region free. And it's actually, the movie is shot, it is in English language. So it's not Hong Kong produced, but it's actually shot in English. So Rob, this was my haul. I have nothing more. Just 3 titles that I've seen.
I have more.
Yeah.
Again, I told you it was like crazy here. Again, something I ordered a long time ago. Thanks to Catherine, Miss Cook told me about this. Now,
you already got yours. Nice.
Yeah, I got my Furiosa Steelbook, and I really like this movie, and it got a bad rap. I think perhaps maybe they shouldn't have called it a Mad Max saga.
No, I don't think so, Rob. It was just a box office flop, but a bad rap, I wouldn't.
No, I mean, I really like this movie, and the more you like, by the way, this disc, ooh, does it look and sound good? Yes, it does. Oh, it's great. And I did order, there is a new Mad Max set coming out with all the Mad Max movies.
Yeah,
a
but
box
we
set.
have them already.
Yeah, but I bought it anyway.
Okay.
Just saying. I'm just saying. And hey, it's the last time I'm going to have to buy, So I didn't know it was coming out. I had already pre-ordered this. Thanks, Catherine, telling me that it was
4K and
available.
Blu-ray, Rob.
Got this. What's that?
4K and
yes.
Blu-ray?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The Blu. I don't know if the. Yeah. There's a Blu-ray. Yeah. But I never even look at the Blu-rays anymore. But yeah, and this looks great. Really like it. Although no, it doesn't. No, it's not. It's not dented. I thought it was dented. Great. Awesome. Great. Thank you, Catherine, for telling me about that. The last straggler from the Criterion sale came in. My favorite teen film of the '80s, Risky Business. 41 years old. Have not watched it yet, but it comes with the booklet is actually one side is the one sheet, so can't wait to check this out. This movie's beautifully photographed, so that came in from Criterion as a straggler. Now this is interesting. I got something from Vinegar Syndrome that I found as one of their partner labels, and you'll love this. Rainer Werner Fassbinder.
Oh, Rainer Fassbinder, yeah.
Starred in a science fiction movie, not directed by him, but he plays a detective. I used to have this movie on VHS, Kamikaze 89. Now, I didn't even know this was out, to be honest. I was looking through Vinegar. I don't know how I missed this, but I haven't even opened it yet. But this is a movie that I had bought, and Fassbinder's great in it. He stars in it. But I didn't know it was even out. And it's a science fiction film. And it's kind of more of that dystopian future.
Title rings a bell, Rob.
It'd make a good double feature with Alphaville in a way. Yeah, so I picked that up. I didn't even know it was available. Found it, bought it, which is great. Then another one of my favorite things, and I hate to say this, I don't want to say that I'm a member of the A24 cult. The people love A24. Now, we just got A24's Civil War. We showed that. 4K disc came out with Charlie Lauzarica's beautiful documentary, which is really interesting. The structure of it, you got to check it out. It's really good. It was great to see a master at work again. So I ordered 2 discs. I like going to the A24 store. They've got great books and shops. So there were 2 movies that I wanted that I got from the A24 shop. One is Love Lies Bleeding. Now you can get these not at the A24 store. But I like getting it because I'm an A24 member. So, and they do a really great job. I mean, they're really taking a lot of time with their packaging and artwork. And I got the feel-good movie of 2024 or 2023, Zone of Interest. This is, it's another great movie about German ingenuity. But Zone of Interest... Zone of Interest.
Your black humor, Rob.
Zone of Interest. This is a chilling movie, but I really love. This is really great stuff. And Jonathan Glazer, again, another great literary adaptation. He made Under the Skin, which is an adaptation of Michael Faber's books. But again, they do a great. It's funny. I buy this and I'm like, I bought this because I thought this was a great movie, but it's not like how many times I got to watch this. I don't know. The sound design is interesting.
The replay factor on Zone of Interest is a little bit low.
But then again, I find Schindler's List monumentally entertaining. I don't
have to watch it again, Rob, just for the sound design.
Again, I feel like when A24 puts out this stuff, but I went to their website and I'm a member. I get $5 a month and they send you a book and everything. But here's again, kind of what I love. So this is the best. So then in the package, in the package, you get your A24 and you open it up and here's every time I open this up, I forget that this is really only my receipt. It's only my receipt. And they thank you for your order. But here's the thing. Like they've got their website here, Spot UV printed or whatever. I mean, this is extra money.
It just looks like, Rob, it was worth spending the money on those titles.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
And I'm telling you, this is why A24 is a cult. Is like they suck you in, and you pull this out, and you think, I'm special. I'm special. Just because that somebody had to take my invoice, fold it up, and put it into this envelope that was pre-printed with A24, and then not to be outdone, it came with an A24 postcard.
Oh.
So there you go. Is this Coleman?
From what is this?
Is this kind of Green Knight? Like, what is this? I don't know. But Coleman Dominguez?
I have no idea, Rob. Is this a new movie that's coming out?
I don't know if it's coming out.
In mine was a Maxine, so probably a new movie.
It could be a new movie.
The corner.
And this looks like Coleman. I don't know. But I just like the fact that they included this.
Yeah.
They printed this. They sent it.
Coming at
Rob. And see, it's the extra added. It's kind of like the dudes from where is it? From Deadwood's Media. They just, that little extra effort. You realize that, customer service is still alive and well. So I got that.
Exactly.
Oh, and then when I bought Kamikaze 89, I realized, even though I already had the Steelbook, they were distributing, I didn't even know this. I read this somewhere that Vinegar Syndrome had the Sadness in 4K. And I'm like, in a slipcase. And I went there and I ordered it. Even though I already have the 4K Steelbook, but I ordered this, but there's no slipcase, and I didn't realize after I'd ordered it, I saw that we're out of the slipcases, so we only have the standard.
The slipcase is the limited part.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was getting. I'm an idiot. But anyway, I have the Sadness. Have you seen this?
Of course, Rob. Of course,
bro. Right up there with Train to Busan. Awesome. Right up there with Train to Busan. Train to Busan and this are the best zombie movies that have come out.
Yeah.
This movie's fucking bananas.
A lot of bloodletting.
I love this movie. I wish this happened for real. Oh, wait. What does that say about me?
Help me out, Rob. It was based on a graphic novel.
Yes, it was. And this has a lot of bonus features on it. The most violent...
Don't forget, Rob. They are not zombies.
That's right. They suffer from the sadness. They're suffering from the sadness. I think
because people want to push that movie in that kind of genre. Yes, it has that DNA, but it's not. They are not zombies. Those people.
Well, it's like the rage virus in 28 weeks later or 28 days later. It was. I guess they are kind of zombies, but they're just mad.
Yeah, but they are sad because they can't help themselves about what they are doing. Robert.
Right.
That's where the sadness is.
That's why the sadness is coming. All I know is that I think this movie's prophetic.
Not zombies,
I see this as America this October, right before the election. People are going to be crying and killing each other at the same time. So this was
one of those movies, Rob, that was worth the hype that it got.
Oh my God! If you guys haven't seen The Sadness, I mean, there's so many great. We should do a whole week on all of the great horror movies that have come out in the last 10 years that people might. I mean, we got some bangers, man. You know, people talk about elevated horror. This is not elevated.
We could bring in Mr. Carnage Candy.
Oh man, this is some great. We should bring in Carnage Candy.
Cody Leach.
Yes, we should bring in Cody. He would be perfect. Cody, you got to come in and do that. We should do a show. And then, along with Vinegar Syndrome, another one of their partner labels. Here's Jonathan Demme's The Last Embrace, a film from the 70s with Roy Scheider. And I have never seen this. And this is number 11657 of 6,000. Cinematography, whatever the French, however they want me to pronounce this. They're the people that put out Little Darlings and Going South. They're a partner label of Vinegar Syndrome. I love this label. I love their packaging. They're amazing, and their stuff is great. And I've never seen this. It's based on a novel. I've never seen this movie. I love Roy Scheider, early Jonathan Demme. Happy to have it. And then the last thing I got, my friend Clark Von Trotha told me about this. I meant to get it, and it's from Curzon. They put out, of course, the Vim Vendors box set, which I still have to get because it's got Far Away So Close in it. But they put out this. The Peter Strickland box set.
Ooh, I saw that.
And he made Barbarian Sound Studio. If you haven't seen that, you should. And look, it's 18. So they're putting out, and they're also putting out the Bellatar, Hungarian filmmaker Bellatar. They're putting out the Bellatar box set is coming out. And these are, you've got this cloth-bound box, which is always good. And then, of course, you've got the box.
Who was in Barbarian Sound Studio? Toby Jones? Was it Toby Jones?
Was it Toby Jones? Was he in there?
Toby Jones?
I've watched that movie once. But then you've got the fold-out.
Nice.
And it keeps folding out. And it keeps folding out. And it keeps folding out. And I've only seen Barbarian Sound Studio. I've never seen any of these other movies.
What are the other movies? I think I've known two. Barbarian Sound Studio and...
So you've got Caitlin Varga is one. I don't know if they're in order of how they were made in here. Yeah. Barbarian Sound Studio, The Duke of Burgundy, In Fabric, which I can't wait to watch, Flux Gourmet, and a bonus disc.
Okay. No,
so there you go.
Only Barbarian.
And I picked this up because I haven't seen only Barbarian Sound Studios. This is the only movie I've seen of this, but my friend Clark told me to get it, and I like Barbarian Sound Studio. I thought it was good. And I own it, actually. And then it came with this, which is, there's a lot of other stuff in here. So there's actually a pin.
Oh, nice.
A pin, which I think is hilarious. There is, again, as you would expect, a booklet and posters and art cards. I won't undo all the posters and art cards, but they're in here. Same old, but a great package. And look, I love what they did with Vim Vendors' Wings of Desire, and of course the Vendors box set, which I don't own, which I keep looking at, but I need to get it. And after getting this package, I really have to get it.
Easy.
So don't worry, it's got it in there. It's cool. Everything stays in mint condition.
It's delicate business here.
It is, and it's all good. So that was the last thing that I got.
Big haul
this week. Big haul of good stuff. I feel like I'm very privileged.
Yeah,
very privileged to have these box sets. It's good stuff. So that's what I got.
Awesome.
There you go. And it's got the autograph. The little ring. Normally I throw these away, but you have his name right there, so I'm going to keep it.
So just 3 movies I watched, Rob. I watched Robot Dreams, really great, the animated movie. And what I didn't know, Rob, is that the main characters actually don't talk. I didn't know that. Great sound design, great songs. Robot Dreams, really good. I totally understand why it got an Oscar nomination. The Korean movie Smugglers, only out on Germany. on Blu-ray. Really enjoyed it, but only because of the last 40 minutes where the movie really picked up the action pace, and that there's a great underwater sequence which reminded me of the stuff of the 007 stuff, on old underwater stuff where they fight underwater. So really a little bit of a throwback to 007 when it comes to the ending. Really nice movie, a little bit convoluted at the beginning, but it finds its rhythm at the ending. Smugglers. And the last one, which I watched before I did my setup, Rob, you made me aware of it.
Uh-oh.
And this is a movie where I would say, yes, this is metal. This is metal movie, Rob. I finally watched the Addams Family movie, Where the Devil Roams. Have you watched it yet, Rob?
Yes, I have.
This is a metal movie, Rob.
It is so metal. But you liked it?
It is a metal movie. Totally. But it's not for everyone, and I'm really looking forward to it.
No.
Their new one, Hellhole, is coming out this month on Shudder at the end of the
Named after the Spinal Tap song, Living in a Hellhole.
I have no idea. But this movie, really great follow-up to Hellbender. But I can understand, and I don't know if you have had time to watch the making-of, which I had in the background when I put my setup up.
I haven't. I watched the movie.
Totally great how they did some stuff in it. And I didn't know what it was even about, but it was a nice one. Nice. Totally recommendation. The Addams Family, totally, I keep my eye out, and I'm really looking forward to Hellhole this month from them. So thanks for the recommendation, Rob, or remembering that the Addams Family had this one made during the COVID times, Where the Devil Roams.
You are welcome. And that was, if memory serves, but that was a Vinegar Syndrome partner label release as well.
Good question.
I think. I mean, the one I have was a Vinegar Syndrome.
It is Yellow Veil Pictures.
Yeah, but that doesn't look like the one that I have.
Okay.
So,
Rob, I switched the cover. You have probably used the other cover. Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
I switched the cover. And what was great was, Rob, the movie has only a 2.1, I believe, sound, but it sounded great. It was only stereo, but great sounding this. And I love the picture quality. It is digital, but somehow the Addams Family make it work. They make it work. Where the Devil Roams. Great
there
movie.
You go.
Great movie. And unique. Totally unique for me. It's always unique what they are doing. The Addams. The real Addams.
Well, it's true.
So, Rob, you wanted to read an article, you said?
I did.
Or the news?
I wanted to read an article. I have an article, but I didn't. I'm going to read it just... it was on Media Play News. And, I always go get our stuff from Media Play News, including this chart that they put up every week. I watched a physical media channel, a guy I came across. I'd never watched him before, and he was talking about the death of the 4K format. Now, if you look at this, it's amazing. This is the week ending August 3rd. The DVD format, 61.2, is still, look at how much DVD is selling. Blu-ray, 29.1, and UHD is 9.7. But I think what people forget is how many releases are on 4K and how many come out on other things. Now, TV shows aren't even coming out on Blu-ray anymore, and if you want your favorite TV show, people are buying, the buying habits.
But still on DVD.
Right, but still on DVD. And I think that the obviously when big titles come out, even Criterion 4Ks and boutique label 4Ks are shooting up the top 10 charts of the 4K population, the people that are buying 4K. Look at Chinatown, a catalog title. Now they're going to get it back out again. Paramount sold out of that its first week that it was out. It was gone. So the 4K buyers are very much, I feel like we've reverted back to what the Laserdisc times were like. And you had a very dedicated, the idea of collecting movies at all is kind of a strange thing, especially in the streaming age. I've been collecting movies for 44 years, and I like having movies. If you think about it, it's kind of odd that you can touch a movie. because when I was growing up, movies were just light dancing on a screen. But I think, and I've never, I would say for me, from a psychological standpoint, to own a film and to know it's here and to look at the artwork and the packaging and to have it. I know this is going to seem a little weird and esoteric.
Like the first Halloween, Rob. Like the
first one I got, but to own these movies and to see, how they're packaged and there's like John Campy always talks about the tangibility of something. To me, to hold a film, to actually have it, means something. Like it has meaning in terms of preservation, or it's a part of your soul, or something. I don't mean to get all, new wavy or new age. I'll get new wavy on you, but I won't get new agey on you. Although to be a new waver is to be a new age or two. I don't think so necessarily, because her name is Rio and she dances on the sand, and that isn't new agey. That's new wavy, and it's still good. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what I just said, but whatever. But I think that there's, like, to have the sadness. Yes, this is a hyper-violent movie from Asia.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. But to own it means something. And maybe movies haven't existed as long as... I go into used bookstores and I'm always depressed because you can see, I know for a fact that if a used bookstore has a bunch of, like, film reference books that look relatively of a piece, someone's died. And those books have found their way to that used bookstore. And it kind of always makes me sad that a person's collection of something that meant something to them, their next of kin didn't love it enough. But it's kind of neat that it goes out into the world. I mean, people go to Goodwills and they're able to buy 4K discs for $2 or something. It's like, hopefully they'll be. But I think it's important. I mean, I think it. It says something, and I like being able to buy these weird, obscure films from Eastern Bloc countries, or I don't know. I think it's important. That's how I justify it to myself. I don't even know what I'm saying. What am I saying, Dieter? What am I talking about?
The article, Rob. The article.
Oh, the article.
Yeah, that's where we started, Rob. But you went off to the final frontier again.
Elizabeth has noticed. She's noticed. She's like, you spend a lot of time in space lately, don't you? Like, she'll walk into the kitchen and I'll just be like staring into the sky. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, Media Play News. That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
I see. I went from Media Play News to the graphic to talk. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
See.
We can follow it.
Okay. So this article is interesting. So this was in Media Play News, and it was published July 22nd by Jerry Inman. Now, there's Gen Z, right? But now there's Gen Z. The new generation below Gen Z is Gen A, Generation Alpha. We start all over again. And this article was about what is Generation Alpha, how are they consuming media? And like when we were kids, I was, like you said, I bought Halloween. When I was 13 years old, I got a VCR and started collecting movies. And there was one video store in Seattle, and it was a whole new thing. But movies were my jam, and I was starting to record things off TV. But do kids still like movies? Clearly. Well, let's find out. Generation Alpha redefines media consumption. Social video, UGC, and ad-supported platforms surge ahead of traditional streaming. Generation Alpha, the youngest demographic, is on the cusp of defining its cultural identity, and early indicators suggest a seismic shift in entertainment preferences. According to new data from Precise TV, this generation is gravitating toward social video and user-generated content, UGC, posing a significant challenge to the dominance of traditional streaming platforms. In 2024, 62% of Gen Alphas reported recent use of SVOD services, making it a leading choice among entertainment options. However, the data also reveals an expanding gap between SVOD and social video platforms such as YouTube and TikTok, signaling a broader trend that could reshape the media landscape. The difference in usage between SVOD and YouTube, for example, increased from 14 to 19% within a year, reflecting the growth of user-generated content. So we're watching each other. Rather than watching narrative, the young kids are watching one another. This shift is not entirely unexpected. YouTube, now more popular than ever, commands a substantial user base. According to Nielsen's latest media distribution gauge, YouTube currently boasts higher TV usage than many traditional platforms. This rise in popularity underscores YouTube's ability to culture and retain young viewers who are increasingly drawn to its diverse and engaging content. SVOD services, while still popular, face several hurdles that may impede their growth. Years of price hikes, content shakeups, and the proliferation of bundled services have created a complex and often costly landscape for consumers. These factors contribute to a slower rate of expansion compared to the more dynamic and accessible social video platforms. Adding to the competitive pressure on traditional SVOD services are free ad-supported options, such as FAST and AVOD platforms. These services are gaining traction among Gen Alpha, offering a compelling alternative to subscription-based models. With the lure of free content supported by ads, FAST and AVOD are becoming increasingly popular among young viewers who are more accepting of ad interruptions in exchange for cost-free entertainment. FAST platforms, such as Pluto TV and Tubi, provide a wide array of content without the need for a subscription, making them an attractive option for families and younger audiences. Similarly, AVOD services such as Hulu's ad-supported tier and YouTube's ad-driven content offer diverse programming without the financial commitment of a subscription, broadening access to entertainment for Generation Alpha. TikTok, another major player in the social video space, is also capturing the attention of Gen Alpha. Despite age restrictions that technically prevent most of this demographic from using social media, TikTok's influence is undeniable. In 2024, 44% of Gen Alpha is reported using TikTok, surpassing linear TV, which garnered 39% of their attention, according to Precise TV data. This rapid growth highlights TikTok's ability to engage young audiences with short, captivating videos that cater to their preferences for quick, bite-sized content. Moreover, the competition between social video platforms is intensifying. YouTube Shorts, a direct competitor to TikTok, has seen its average daily watch times rival those of TikTok. This burgeoning rivalry indicates a shift in the entertainment landscape where short-form content is becoming increasingly popular among younger viewers. While SVOD platforms still command a significant portion of Gen Alpha's screen time, social video platforms are closing in. YouTube, despite being a major player, is not the only threat to SVOD. Live streaming platform Twitch has also emerged as a favorite among Gen Alpha, with 63% of the surveyed kids spending 2 or more hours on the platform, according to Precise TV data. The implications of these trends are profound. As Gen Alpha continues to grow, their media consumption habits will evolve, potentially reshaping the entire entertainment industry. Traditional media companies must adapt to these changes, finding new ways to engage young audiences who are increasingly turning to digital and social platforms for their entertainment needs. One of the key factors driving this shift is the nature of the content available on social video platforms. User-generated content offers a level of relatability and authenticity that traditional media often lacks. For Generation Alpha, who value connection and authenticity, this type of content is particularly appealing. Creators on platforms such as YouTube, that's us, Dieter, and TikTok can quickly respond to trends and audience preferences, providing a dynamic and ever-evolving content experience. Moreover, the interactive nature of social video platforms adds another layer of engagement. Platforms like Twitch allow viewers to interact with streamers in real time, creating a sense of community and connection that traditional media cannot easily replicate. This level of interactivity is particularly appealing to younger audiences who are used to engaging with content in more interactive ways. The rise of social video and user-generated content also has implications for advertisers. Traditional advertising methods may not be as effective with Generation Alpha, who are more likely to engage with content that feels authentic and relevant. Advertisers will need to adapt to their strategies, leveraging influencer marketing, and more interactive ad formats to capture the attention of this digitally savvy generation. The oldest members of Gen Alpha turned 14 this year. Their media consumption habits are in flux. However, the trends highlighted by Precise TV's data suggests that the future of entertainment lies in the hands of social video, user-generated content, and ad-supported platforms. Traditional media companies must embrace these changes, finding new ways to innovate and connect with younger audiences. In conclusion, the media landscape is undergoing a significant transformation driven by the evolving preferences of Generation Alpha. Social video, user-generated content, and FAST and AVOD platforms are emerging as dominant forces, challenging the traditional streaming paradigm. As this generation continues to grow, their impact on the industry will only become more pronounced. Media companies that can adapt to these changes and leverage the power of social video and ad-supported models will be well positioned to capture the attention and loyalty of next-generation viewers. Now, I wanted to read that because you know what that article doesn't say anything about? Movies.
Yeah, okay.
Movies, not just physical media, but people. I mean, we are moving away from the idea of film. You know, film, and the thing about film, like books, like movies and books and all that, are about things that are outside of us. They're you know, you must seek truth outside, as opposed to finding your own truth inside. I mean, I always thought that my own truth was defined by the media that I was consuming. Movies and novels and music all had something to say to me, and I think maybe they still do. But nowadays, people want to talk to other people. And maybe that's a good thing, ultimately. But will movies have any resonance with younger generations? Will they discover movies? Because they're not even, like, how many times did you discover a movie on TV that you'd never seen before? Or on cable? Are people ever going to do that anymore? I don't know.
Who knows? And Rob, is the article perhaps the evidence that Quibi was ahead of its time?
Yeah, I mean, look, you want me to defend Quibi? Look, I think here's the problem. I think Quibi on paper might have been an interesting idea that, hey, maybe it was ahead of its time. But it was designed by people that they thought and to be fair, you know, they thought that they had something interesting, and they probably did research, but, you know, maybe it was. But I really don't think that bite-sized narrative was where it's at. Bryan Singer and they produced a show. Bad Hat Harry produced a show. I think it was called H+, which was this bite-sized narrative show that was really well done, but it didn't really catch on because I think with these bite-sized narrative pieces, people don't want to watch that. They want to see people talking to you. I mean, we don't have a Gen Alpha. I'm sorry to say that Let's Get Physical Media virtually has no Gen Alpha audience. So you kids today,
no roots there.
I'm sorry you don't watch us, but you should all see the sadness as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's interesting, and I don't know if there's a future. How long will physical media last? It's already hard enough to get even players. I don't know.
So Rob, just a question. You wanted to start an hour earlier. Do you still have time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because you wanted to start an hour earlier.
I won't start an hour earlier because I got to jump on that show at 1, but we had a lot of stuff to talk about in show. So B Depp, by the way.
Nice.
B Depp says, "Hey guys, happy birthday, Rob."
Never gets old.
Happy birthday, R&B. Huge Borderlands fan. The movie was completely miscast, and the R rating was the way to go, not PG-13. The games are M rated.
Exactly.
And Vegas Robocop appreciates that I caught out the fact that it was not Dick Jones who said that. It was Dan O'Hurley who said that. And Tom Jr. Jackson says, "Did I get the booklet of Satanism from A24? No, but I want to get it because I love everything to do with Satanism. I love satanic cults, and I'm going to start one day. But you have to tell me.
It's in the works.
In order to join my satanic cult, Anton LaVey, if you read the Satanic Bible, Satan represents love for those who deserve it, not love wasted on ingrates. I'm just saying, it says that in the Satanic Bible. So my satanic cult will only have, you have to tell me your movie list. The only way you can get in is to give me your favorite movies. And if I don't approve, you don't get into my satanic cult.
And
just saying.
Considering the devil, this is better be on your list when the devil
Well,
rolls.
there you go. And everybody's going to have Swack Props' 9 Gates from the Kingdom of Heaven copy to be into my in my satanic cult. But no, Tom, I have not got that book yet. But you know what? I'll plan on it. 5 Dot Toast gifted 10 Burnettwork memberships. Ooh. We will have a membership call next week. So thank you, 5 Dot Toast. And Andy Haynes has been a member for 10 months. So thanks for that. So we're all caught up.
Okay. News section, I would say.
There's news. There is news.
Okay.
I've got news. Would you like to jump in?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to.
Let me see.
Oh, I
where
will.
I need to put my dollars.
I have to say that all of my, for whatever reason, all of my. Here we go. I'm catching up. So, okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Have you seen this?
No, actually not. I've not seen.
Criterion.
How many discs are this?
Okay. 40. There's 40 movies in this. This is Criterion announced. This is, of course, perhaps I should come back on screen. This year, 2024, is the 40th anniversary of Criterion. Their first 2 releases were King Kong and Citizen Kane. Woo, 40!
No, it doesn't.
I guess nothing's going to happen. Well, what about this? No. It's not working? Terrible. What about the devil horns? Yeah. Come on. It's not working.
No, only balloons.
God damn it. Well, that's disappointing. So anyway, this is Criterion's 40th anniversary disc box set. It's a beautiful box set. It's, I believe, the MSRP is $700. And like their Janus box set they did on DVD. So it's called CC40. And I'll give you the... I don't know if there's a list.
This is a starter pack, Rob, if you're starting your physical.
Well, that's what this is. This is all stuff that has already come out. And I think this is great for schools and things like that. I really do, because it is a great... Now, they're saying that the way they came to this is all the people that go into the Criterion Closet, this is an overview of like some of the most popular films, filmmakers, and people that have been in the Criterion Closet have talked about. So here are the films. Here's the list. They are only on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
8.5, Tokyo Story, All That Jazz, Bicycle Thieves, Repo Man, Naked, Jules and Jim, Being There, Weekend, Godard's Weekend, Yee Yee, The Night of the Hunter, Pickpocket, Sweet Smell of Success, On the Waterfront, Do the Right Thing, Ratcatcher, Sunday Bloody Sunday, Mirror, Barry Lyndon, Safe, Seconds, His Girl Friday, Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters, Itu Mama Tambien, My Own Private Idaho, Love and Basketball, Night of the Living Dead, Ace in the Hole, 3 Women, The Red Shoes, Down by Law, La Sanaga, Wanda, Haosu, Sullivan's Travels, The Battle of Algiers, Woman Under the Influence, Cleo from 5 to 7, Persona, and Wong Kar-wai's In the Mood for Love. There's hundreds of hours of supplemental features, alternate soundtracks and dubbed tracks, audio commentaries, extensive documentaries and making-of programs, interviews with cast and crews, outtakes and deleted scenes, trailers and TV spots, English subtitles, a selection of Criterion Closet picks, videos, and more. Deluxe packaging with a lavishly illustrated 216-page book featuring on essays by films and critics, featuring essays on the films by critics and scholars. And the MSRP is $700. So, Criterion always put out like box sets at the end of the year. You know, like that Wong Kar-wai box set. Their Ingmar Bergman box set was a big favorite, which I love. Now, for their 40th anniversary, I understand why they did this. And if you want a really great selection of world cinema, indie cinema, and important films, I think this is a great box set. It's a great reference. I think anybody who has physical media who doesn't have a lot of Criterion titles But I have every one of those titles that I want to possess that's in that box set already. And look, give me all that jazz in 4K and I'll buy it again. But I think it's good. I think it's cool that they're making it. And it's not for us. Like, I've literally been buying Criterion discs for 40 years. I bought King Kong and I bought Citizen Kane off the rack. I had those laser discs when I first got a lasers player. So in a way, there's a little disappointment in there for me. I understand they made a retrospective looking back at their 40 years. But I kind of wish that there was something new for me as a longtime Criterion. You know, literally 40 years. I've been buying Criterion stuff for 40 years. I don't know. What do you think?
Rob, is there a market for such a box? How much was it, Rob?
$700. But if you wait for the next Barnes & Noble sale,
50% off.
I mean, I have to tell you, to be honest, I'll fucking buy that shit. 50% off, just to have it. You know, because why not? Just to have that big honking Criterion box.
That would be something. That box at 50% off.
Well, you know it will be. And you know that's what they're planning on. However they're making it work. They're movies they've already owned, they've already licensed, they're already out, so they've already got the materials. So all they had to do was make the box. But I don't know. I mean, I kind of wish that there was something. It's looking back.
When we compare it, Rob, to the volumes from Columbia Pictures, where there are often movies that are not even available outside of the box. Those are great box sets.
They are, and we're finally getting Tootsie in 4K, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, I mean, look, philosophically, I think it's cool that we're getting it. And I think for people that haven't jumped into Criterion, and, you know, it'd be a great resource for colleges, institutions of higher learning, whatever, high schools, you know, to have that, a library. I mean, it's kind of impractical for a library because, you know, what are you going to do? Take that box out every time somebody wants to look at one movie? But it's still kind of cool. I wish they did something different, you know, or I wish they would have put out a Kubrick box set that gave us Lolita in 4K and gave us Barry Lyndon in 4K or something like that. Or I don't know, even though they've released Kubrick box sets before, so maybe not. But something that points to the future as opposed to looks backward. I don't know. But anyway, it's coming out, part of the news. Now, this was surprising. This is coming out from 88 Films in the UK.
Exactly.
88 Films is putting out American Pie, the 25th anniversary deluxe collector's edition. Does that mean that American men have been fucking pies for 25 years? I don't know. But there you go. 88 Films. This is a big coup, big title for them to be putting out.
Pre-ordered for the longest time, Rob. For the longest time. It got delayed.
Well, and here it is. Are you going to get it? I don't think I'll be getting this, but
like I said, Rob, pre-ordered for the longest time.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, you'll get it.
Yep.
We have, of course, here's Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, the original, coming out in 4K. They'll probably have to get the box set from the UK, you know, something like that. Addams Family Values coming out in 4K.
The other Addams Family.
The other Addams Family. Well, there you go. Now, this might be my most favorite announcement of the week.
Yeah.
Zodiac. David Fincher's Zodiac, which arguably might be might be my favorite movie of his. I don't know if this is the longer extended cut. It makes no mention of it on the disc.
Rob, what I think is the 4K will be the theatrical, and I think there are 2 Blu-rays in it. So there could be probably a Blu-ray with the longer version.
I really hope so.
Blu-ray for special features. But I think the 4K will just be the theatrical version. Just an assumption.
Well, if I can get the version on Blu-ray, I would love that. So bring it on, people. Then we have Warner Archive's new title, Journey into Fear, Orson Welles. This is a great cast. Dolores Del Rio, Joseph Cotton. I mean, again, George Feltenstein and the boys over at Warner Brothers, at Warner Archive, are doing the Lord's work. We got Conflict, Humphrey Bogart, and Sidney Greenstreet. Wow, can't wait. That's cool, and I know I'll get it. Bathing Beauty with Red Skelton. I want to say this is their second. You know, Esther Williams. Is that? Did they put? I think they put out something like this before. I seem to remember. But hey, it's great to get these things. I love Warner Archive. I Remember Mama. For those of you probably who remember the movie, I Dismember.
They were in the news section last week. That's why you remember.
No, these weren't in the news section last week. These are different. I Remember Mama because I would have made the I Dismember Mama joke last week. Irene Dunn and George Stevens movie. Then we've got, I know that this wasn't there, A Prairie Home Companion coming out. And this is, of course, the old NPR show, Garrison Keillor. I like this movie, actually. I saw this movie in the theater. And so that's coming out. And so is a Johnny Quest movie. Although I might have did I do these? These aren't last week, were they?
Yeah, Rob, yeah.
Really? I don't remember.
I have a déjà vu, Rob. I have a déjà vu.
I don't remember I Remember Mama, though. What,
I will check back. I will check the last episode.
Maybe. And then this is another great release. Yeah. The West Wing in Blu-ray.
That's new. I don't
new, great to get this box set in Blu-ray. Want it. Although I will say this, the drop-off between season 4 and 5 is immense. Not good. But I really want to get this. Now, here's something I can't even believe. American movie? In 4K?
In 4K, yeah.
Well, hey, it's awesome and immensely entertaining. I love this movie. It's Coven. It's hilarious, but in 4K, wow. Maybe
but Rob, perhaps it wasn't even out on Blu-ray. So it could be the first release.
It could be.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but hey, the movie's great. What's not to love? Then we have from Imprint a Roger Moore film called Cross Plot that looks like a Bond film. I don't even know. I've never heard of this movie till I saw it on Imprint. I watched the trailer on their website. It looks great. I definitely want to pick this up. How interesting. Then we have Wim Wenders, the 40th anniversary restoration of Paris, Texas. I love this movie, and to get this in 4K, they have a trailer out for it. It looks spectacular. Can't wait to get that. Then, of course, Radiance, Japan organized crime boss. Again, Radiance just killing it, always killing it. The Monster of Page 1. I don't know anything about this. It looks like it's about the news industry, but hey, why not? I mean, Radiance is a great label. I love everything they put out. They're also putting out Panic in Year Zero with Ray Milland and Frankie Avalon. I used to watch this on TV when I was a kid. I haven't seen it in ages, but I'll pick that up because it's Radiance. And then they're also putting out Francois Truffaut's The Story of Adele H. This is a lovely movie. And, you can watch it with Possession and get your
UK Blu-ray premiere.
Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty exciting. Then we have a movie that Grindhouse Releasing is putting out called Hollywood 902-8, but it's also called like the original title's like the Hollywood Strangler. Hey, it's coming out from Grindhouse, which means it's probably got lots of sex and violence. And Bob Murawski, doing the Lord's work.
And the Capitol Records building in the background.
There you go. I mean, it's Hollywood. That's how you know. It's Hollywood because it's the Columbia Records building. And I'll pick this up. Grindhouse is putting out. You go, Grindhouse. Now, one of my favorite anime series, Captain Harlock, is coming out. Space Pirate, the whole collection. I don't know what that means.
I've seen it, and I didn't know that the series was that old.
Yeah. Well, because they made the 3D movie about 10 years ago. So Captain Harlock.
That was for me the first interaction with Captain Harlock.
Yeah.
And I saw this announcement and I thought, wait, from where is this animated show? How old is this?
Yeah, and it's got the old school Arcadia before they changed it, and Queen Emeraldis. I mean, I'm a big fan of Matsumoto Leiji's universe, Captain Harlock, Queen Emeraldis, and of course, I just love this stuff. So I'll pick that up, and then we've got people keep telling me have you seen this Twilight of the Warriors Walled In?
No, Rob, it's a new movie. I haven't seen it. I have seen that it will come out, but
it's been getting good notice.
Some hangers in it, so probably must buy for me.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. People have told me it's good. I've seen the trailer. It looks really old school. I like it. Okay. Then Severin is putting out this movie, The Demon, It looks Italian, Giallo. I don't know what it is, but Severin's putting it out. And look at that cover. Why not get it? Don't know anything about it, but Severin's putting it out. Why not? And then 101 Films, bro. 101 Films. Sword and the Sorcerer.
Ooh.
Sword and the Sorcerer in 4K. I mean, is Sword and the Sorcerer a great movie? I don't know. It's certainly got a great sword in it. It's Albert Pune. I think I'm going to have to get this.
Don't forget, Rob, it was already out on 4K in the States.
I know.
You have it already, Rob.
I know. I don't think I do. I didn't buy it.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to have to get this because I love this box set.
Yeah, the box set is great.
And so that's cool. So there you go. Let's check out the charts.
Yeah.
So here we have the top selling
Fall Guy. Nice.
Blu-ray discs, The Fall Guy, Civil War, Twister, The Boy and the Heron, The First Omen, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Ted Lasso, The Richmond Way, the box set, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, Justice League, Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 3, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. You know what? I've been watching Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm not digging it. I don't like the changes.
No. Okay.
It's all right.
Because I have pre-ordered a box set from friends with all 3 titles.
Oh, well, you know.
No,
I mean,
skip
no,
it?
I don't think you should skip it. It's interesting.
Okay.
It's just different.
Okay.
It's just different. Top selling 4K titles: Fall Guy, Twister, Civil War, The Boy and the Heron, Starship Troopers, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is Arrow, nice to see that in top 10, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, Dune Part 2, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and Election. Good titles. But there you go. That is all the news that is fit to print.
Nice one. So from there we normally go. You can take a short break, Rob. I can do the live chat recap.
I'll do that because I've been drinking a lot of water. I'm gonna go get some more.
Okay.
So live chat for you, buddy.
Previously on Let's Get Physical Media, Matt says Deadpool 3 has an all-timer opening scene. Except you are Rob like, oh, those innocent TVA agents. They were innocent bystanders. No, they are not innocent bystanders, Rob. Kevin Welburn, I had a blast watching Deadpool and Wolverine. HV Christodot, the story matters sometimes. Exactly. Sometimes. But not when it comes to Deadpool and Wolverine. Chief Judge Finity. Story ist sehr gut. Story is very good. Considering Deadpool and Wolverine? No, not really. Eucalyptus. Deeds speaking facts. At least I'm trying. I'm trying to. Major Chai Chai. I was at the theater this afternoon to watch Ponyo. And the theater was packed for Deadpool and the Despicable Me movies. Jurassic fan Joey. I enjoyed Twisters more than Deadpool and Wolverine as well. Unbelievable. But I haven't seen Twisters. Could be surprised here. Matt. Oh no, The Strangers Chapter 1 is probably my least favorite horror movie of the year. It was a doozy. Can't review that. But it's Rennie. I have to support my Rennie here. And Matt says, Abigail was fun, but I thought it went on too long. Too many false endings, okay? Adventure Square, Abigail rocks. And Major Chicha continues her story. I dozed off this afternoon at the theater watching Ponyo. We all have those movies where we are at the theater and, we get a little bit sleepy. Adventure Square. I ordered my bean maker from Second Sight. Can't wait. Okay, hopefully you will get some disc. It will be a running joke, Rob, your bean maker. Thomas Logan, introducing the Second Sight bean grower apparatus. Brian Knight, Robin Dietz, watch the spoiler reviews of Deadpool. How do the reviewers get clips of the movie not already in the trailers? Do they have screeners already? And Thomas Logan said to him, it's piracy, but they don't give a fuck. Matthew Godet, I saw that Laserdisc for sale for $100. Speaking of free enterprise, So that Laserdisc is not a Schnäppchen. Be careful. Adventure Square, would Kino do free enterprise? Their money laundering scheme allows for lots and lots of remasters of cool classics. Adventure Square, there's something wrong. Classic, free enterprise. Something is off balance here, Just saying. The Falcon Attorney, Oregon, they came out with Highlander in 4K. Why has it been over a year and no Highlander 2 in 4K? I would actually take that one too in 4K. Biggest Energy, Deadpool and Wolverine worked for me. It kicked major ass. Fred Leggett says, there's a German boutique release of Hard Target that I'd like to get. Yes, this is from PlayOn, and it's exclusive to their store. But some people who are interested in some stuff, they reach out to some German douche. Perhaps they can help them out. Thomas Logan, speaking of next week, we will get Alien Romulus. Alvarez was inspired by playing Alien Isolation. As a guy who loved the game, that was enough to sell me. The gorgeous IMAX frame cinematography and Spaney as the lead are bonuses. I'm really looking forward to that movie too. John D. 212 says, Trap is horrible movie, to be honest. I didn't hear that many good things about it either. The Felon Attorney Oregon says, French version is always better. I wonder if Free Enterprise has a French version. I don't know about that, but it has a German dub. That I can tell you. Video Man Gizmo. This is a new collector channel I did not know about. Fun to find new channels. And Steve Mars informed them, hey Gizmo, is this your first visit here? These guys are the real deal for physical media. Thank you for that. Secular Monk, still have to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I heard mixed things about it from my friends. Well, Secular Monk, perhaps some of those people are not your friends if they tell you mixed things about Deadpool and Wolverine. The Felon Attorney Oregon, Clooney may be the best Batman. Okay, that came out of nowhere here. Biggest Energy, I recommend getting an adult beverage at a theater for Deadpool and Wolverine. It enhances the experience. And he goes on, I saw Maxine 4 times in theaters and was even better on repeat viewings. Very beautiful movie. Well, that's good to know. Perhaps on a repeat viewing, it will pick up a little. Gordon Waddell, Kill, the movie Kill. The Rat on a Train. The Raid on a Train. Kill was fantastic. Pre-ordered the 4K Steelbook. Gordon, me too. Paul and Brunotto, wow, the BFI, the 7th Samurai 4K box set looks amazing. Yes, it does. I heard Second Sight is releasing Blair Witch Project with new footage in October. Yes, they do. But I hope they will include both versions. And Rob last week brought up Salo, or in a super chat from Thomas Logan, we talked a little bit about Salo. And Bloodhound said, Salo is a must-watch with the family. A Serbian film as well. Kevin Welburn, Salo was banned in Australia for years. Yeah, in Germany, the same. Rhaegar Targaryen, I don't know, man. People are so desensitized to decadence, they might actually not even care. They would forget about it in a week, considering Salo. And Rhaegar Targaryen says, people also have terrible memories in 2024. As Rob has proven, show the same stuff that he did.
Oh, come on, man.
The Felon Attorney, you played in that show group. That was not planned, The Felon Attorney. Emily is great, but I haven't seen it in a long time and kind of wonder if it comes off dated. Rob, Emily, dated?
I don't know.
Emily dated? Probably not. What? Is Emily dated?
No. I say no.
Thus mentioned, the price for new 4K releases is way too high, in my opinion. I now wait for the price to drop or sales. No movie is worth $45 to $30. I won't pay that ever. Then
what?
Just wait for, like you said, then just wait for the price drop when it is in your range. But don't come to us. Oh, I didn't get the Steelbook or the limited edition. Mr. Cage says, "Hi Rob and Dieter. What do you think of the new color grading of Chinatown in 4K? And the fact the image is cropped compared to the old Blu-ray?" Actually, I haven't heard anything about that. Or
no, I thought it looked great, but that's interesting.
Okay.
I'd be curious. I haven't delved into that.
And I don't know about the cropped. Is it much? Is it little? I have no idea, and I have no comparison to go on, because this was actually the first time for me.
Oh, I've got the Blu-ray. So let's see.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, it is the two Jakes is in the American set, but in the UK there's a Blu-ray, but I think the Blu-ray is from the new 4K Master 2. It's not the old one, but I could be wrong. Tom Jr. Jackson, I only want to watch Jaws 3 in 3D. Exactly. That's how you watch Jaws 3. Kevin Welburn, Rob will contemplate Nippon Erotica. Unfortunately, I forgot to put it out. My Nippon Erotica set. Tom Jr. Jackson, I purposely didn't watch the PG-13 Rebel Moon films because I wanted to see the director's cuts. Yeah, but what I heard, they're not really changed into masterpieces. And the last one, Angel Chipai says, "Best of luck with True Noir, Rob." And Rob, you did now said one actor was confirmed that you recorded this week.
Yes.
That most of us know.
We recorded David Strathairn. David Strathairn's playing Frank Nitti. I honestly, I couldn't believe it. He's one of my favorite character actors. I mean, he's been in the Bourne movies. He was in Lincoln. Yeah. He was a belter in The Expanse. He was in Sneakers. I'm a huge fan of his. And he responded again. He responded to Max Allan Collins' script. And I mean, it blew me away, and his performance blew me away, and I can't. You know, it's hard to explain because obviously people like audio drama, like, you know, they know what it is, but I've approached the whole thing as a feature film the whole time. You know, I've been approaching it as if it's a movie. Max Allan Collins' script is movie caliber quality. If we were making a TV show, I would have used the same script, you know, and I mean it's blown me away. I mean, and as I've been editing more and more of the audio, the dialogue, it's incredible. Now, yeah, you'll only be able to hear it, but I think it'll be just as compelling as any movie you've ever seen or TV show you've ever watched. And if you're a fan of noir, I mean, I can tell you from a movie perspective, it's kind of like it is a sequel. It takes place after The Untouchables. Now, The Untouchables was not historically accurate, but the characters of Elliot Ness, Jesse Spencer from House plays Elliot Ness, and Al Capone is in it. And he's obviously, it's after The Untouchables, so he was jailed, you know. he was put in jail because that's he went to jail. But Al Capone is a character in our piece, and and so you'll see it. And as a matter of fact, I can play it now. I actually have. This is the first. You can hear some of this in the Kickstarter video, but I made a little. We didn't have any footage of him recording because he was in Sydney, so I made a little video that I put on social media of his part. This is actual dialogue from True Noir, and I used clips because he played Al Capone in Road to Perdition, but he was cut out. So I tried at first to take that clip and somehow try and match his mouth movements to what he was saying, which I couldn't. Okay. I couldn't do it. Maybe AI could have done it. I just couldn't do it. There wasn't enough. So I took still frames and made them comic booked out. I didn't use AI. I just took still frames from the actual thing. So if you want, I'll play it right now. You can see this little bit. This is actual dialogue. And by the way, it's cut up. So it's not one, and it's the end of it comes before. Anyway, but you'll get a taste of what Anthony LaPaglia sounds like as Al Capone. So here you go.
Yeah, you can kill somebody time to time if you don't do it on no big scale or make a habit out of it. But there's some people you just can't hit, such as the mayor of a big city, Cermak. Frank's gonna hit Cermak. You are here because I need somebody to trust. I ain't forgot the time you helped me out in the past. Though maybe you didn't know it was me you was helping exactly. Nobody inside the outfit can be trusted with this. I need somebody from the outside.
So there you go. That's Anthony LaPaglia as Al Capone, and one of the first people I wanted to hire because he was cut out of Road to Perdition, that was based on Max Allan Collins' graphic novel. So and you can hear his performance. I mean, it's so much fun, and he's so good. I can't believe he's Australian. And it's funny because I said Jesse Spencer, who's also Australian, who was in-house and now he's on Chicago Fire. He plays Elliot Ness, so I told both of them. I said it's like my LA Confidential. They had Guy Pearce and Russell Crowe, and I got Jesse Spencer and Anthony LaPaglia, which they both thought was hilarious. But yeah, so it's 7 hours long. There is going to be a physical media component of it. We are going to have a Blu-ray with multiple mixes. I'm trying to figure out how I can get a Dolby Atmos mix made. I've been looking into pricing it out to make this, so it'll be a stretch goal, but we're doing the Kickstarter right now. You can go over to Kickstarter. You can go to truenoir.co. It'll take you to the Kickstarter page, or you can go to Kickstarter, and it's a True Noir, and just look up True Noir, and it'll pop up. We're not asking for a lot of money because we have the equity to make it, and it's mostly to buy the series. It's a little difficult to ask people when they can't hear it. We do have our proof of concept, the thing we do with Todd Stashwick, but this is much different in that it has really long dialogue sequences between these great actors. And again, we have everybody from Katie Sackhoff. I talked about Bill Sadler, who's in Bill and Ted. But, I mean, everybody from Adam Arkin to Barry Bostwick, who is in Rocky Horror Picture Show. He plays FDR. Curtis Armstrong from Risky Business and Revenge of the Nerds and Moonlighting. Billy Mooney from Lost in Space and The Twilight Zone. Jeffrey Combs, the great Jeffrey Combs, Dr. Herbert West. Renee Taylor, the nanny's mom on The Nanny, plays P.J. Byrne, plays fighter Barney Ross. I mean, it's an incredible cast. And when you hear it, if I do say, I mean, I know I'm directing it and producing it, and I was a co-creator of the series, but I will say this from my perspective, I have the most creative freedom to make it exactly the way I want. And I played pieces of music last night on Robservations that I just got in. At the time, I played music I hadn't even heard yet from my composer. I went back and listened to them, and they're fucking dope. And we'll be putting out a soundtrack album, so it's very, very cool. Very, very cool.
And Chris Carr.
And Chris Carr, who's great. Chris Carr is great. And, I think you're going to be very, very surprised when you hear it. At least I hope so, because if not, then I'm just a big fraud. So if you can, go to Kickstarter and support it. Be like Major Chai Chai. She's one of our biggest supporters, so thank you for that. So where were we? Is this just a big commercial?
Super Chits.
No, I think we're caught up, man. I think that we are. No, Ron Zilla sends in a $20 super chat and says, "Gentlemen, hello. Rob, what is your favorite movie poster of all time? I know you have many. Oh my God, what is my favorite movie poster of all time? Pick one. Oh my God. I mean, that's really hard. No, I think, wow. I had a huge poster collection that I sold to a previous company called The Third Floor. I had all my big paper. God, my favorite movie poster of all time. That's
tough. Yeah.
Hard. Because I think of movie posters. Do you have a favorite movie poster of all time?
From the top of my head, Rob. If something, another poster pops up.
Favorite movie poster of all time. Wow, that's really tough. I don't know if I can answer that because I'd have to say, because I'm always thinking about. I mean, off the top of my head, there's so there. Like,
how big you want to go with the poster?
Yeah, I mean, I like the. Yeah, And like it depends, action, adventure, horror.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite movie posters of all time is the Italian or the Italian artwork of Mask of the Demon, Mario Bava's Black Sunday. It's got Barbara Steele's face in her hand like this. I spent a lot of time and a lot of money acquiring that poster, and it's hanging up at the 3rd floor. They bought my entire poster collection. It's a huge poster. I love the stylized art on A Clockwork Orange. I have a 6-sheet of that, which is 81 inches by 81 inches. I love that. I love the Robert McGinnis Bond posters. Like I love You Only Live Twice. Looking down the volcano base. That's a really cool poster. I love the Star Trek Bob Peak's art for Star Trek the Motion Picture. All of Bob Peak's art, which they didn't really use in America. They used the motion picture, but the Star Trek 3 poster art he did, Star Trek 2, Star Trek 3, Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home they used, and even his Star Trek 5 poster. I love Bob Peak a lot. He did Excalibur. He did Apocalypse Now. Huge Bob Peak fan. But it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah. Movie poster. One movie poster. The ultimate. That's a tough.
It's tough.
Tough question.
Yeah, but it's a good question. I mean, it's something I used to collect a lot of movie posters, but I don't really anymore. I mean, it's funny. I never thought I would do this, but I've been enjoying the Vice Press posters that Matt Ferguson is doing over at Vice Press and finding new. I mean, look, the Jaws 1-sheet. I know they used that image.
Iconic.
And also the posters for things like Blade Runner. Or Richard Amsel's original Raiders of the Lost Ark artwork is great. But then there's a lot of classic posters as well. I mean, Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast was a poster my friend Roger Fenton had, an original that I always coveted. That's a great poster too. But there's lots of. I love the original.
Titles that you got.
Oh yeah, but I think back to I love. One of my dreams would be to own. If I had my own home theater to invest money, I love like the original War of the Worlds poster, the 1-sheet for War of the Worlds. I love When Worlds Collide, Conquest of Space, which I used to own, but it wasn't a great poster. They have that at the 3rd floor as well. And Forbidden Planet, the Robbie the Robot artwork that says amazing on it. And then I had posters as a kid I loved. Like I loved I had the Logan's Run 1-sheet. I really loved the Dawn of the Dead artwork. With that they used the iconic artwork that Second Sight used on their box set. But it depends. I mean, I love the Alien 1-sheet. I have a rolled Alien 1-sheet here. I love that. And that simple image where it's actually brownies above the egg cracking. So there's so many great posters. The original Nightmare on Elm Street poster is great artwork. If Nancy doesn't wake up screaming, she won't wake up at all. Phantasm. Love the Phantasm artwork. I mean, I could sit here and do this all day. I could just sit there and rifle through poster art that I love. I have hanging up in our movie room. I have I guess so. We do have time. It's this is stable. Oh no. Well, we'll see if anybody's actually seeing this.
Right again, gone again, rebooted. No, it's there, I think.
Yeah, it looks stable right now, but something was off. It could be a heat.
But I need a better.
Well, and you're not coming in either, so I know it's an internet. It's not on my end. It's a internet thing. So I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel via super chats and tips. I want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson, Lord Toth, and Justin Toner if he's here, and all of our moderating staff. Thank you so much.